kidney.
Candy.
Oh my God, we're
Where
back.
the fuck?
It's ridiculous.
Real.
Be happy.
I am happy.
You don't look happy.
You don't look happy.
He doesn't look happy.
We're very happy.
I don't.
Why am I the one smiling?
Is this happy?
No, that looks like shock. Why am I still here?
I'm frowning.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true. Your pain does bring me
All right,
joy.
on with the stuff. We love you all, but we got stuff to do. On with the
Yes.
stuff.
Don't ruin it.
I guess we'll just jump right into, hi, everybody. How you doing? Hope your weekend was fantastic and your last 3 weeks were great.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a month, but hope your weekend was good.
Yeah, just in general,
Yeah.
I hope your previous weekend was great
How-
where we
how-
weren't here.
How was your breakfast? Did you eat breakfast? It's the most important meal of the day, you know.
It is.
Somebody's not eating breakfast because they had their stuff delivered to the wrong building.
That is true. Someone probably did that.
Yeah, so while they were at work, they had someone deliver cereal and milk to their work with like Instacart or something at Best Buy. Weird.
Well, if you want your players not to send things to the wrong location, you could probably make that a less of a possibility if you make maps with Incarnate.
What? That was terrible.
No,
Keep going.
keep kick him out for that one, right?
No.
That didn't even make any sense.
Yes.
Andy, I'm putting my foot down. You gotta nip it in the butt.
No.
This is getting bad.
Yeah, that's the point. You never saw it coming.
You
did
know what's not bad? Incarnate. Go!
I don't have a problem with it, considering your propensity to toss out dad jokes.
Yeah, my dad jokes can be quite punishing.
Fucking it was a
I was gonna
perfect
say
setup. You
distasteful,
totally
but
dropped the ball.
The water, it's shot in my throat.
You know who won't drop the ball?
Incarnate.
Go!
Turn your ideas into incredible map. Turn your incredible ideas into fantastic maps with Incarnate.
Wonderful.
It's easy to use online map making platform. Ideal for game masters, fantasy authors, and map enthusiasts. Where you have a couple options. You have their free version, which you can hop in and test out. You can export up to 2K and get access to what they call a bunch of stamps. Basically, what they do on the map and create and make your map. I don't know what he's doing, but it's really distracting.
I'm taking a picture for the Discord, which you can find in the chat, and come join us while we talk about a bunch of different stuff of Mike's notes, for his speaking notes. I don't know how you can read these.
Totally derailed me. But Incarnate is fantastic. Try out their free version. They just upgraded it with a bunch of new stamps, a bunch of new things to access, create, and use. They have a generation tool as well that you can kind of and just kind of plop out a map, which is super helpful. And if you want to try out their pro version, it's only $5 a month.
If I had to spell what you just said,
$25 a year.
how do I spell that?
I'm speaking. You just pet your fucking crow.
I can't even read it in the picture.
It's a raven. Crows are bigger. Wait, ravens are bigger.
Ravens are way bigger.
Ravens are way bigger. This is a crow. Oh man, it's a crow.
Really check out Incarnate. Our DMs both agree that it is one of the best tools that they have to making maps and giving their players a little bit more sustenance when it comes to exploring their world.
Crows?
With the pro version, you get access to up to 8K exporting, which means you can zoom way in and get all the little details of your towns and roads and such. And you can import up to 12 of your own images to create your own little stamps, like your own sigils for your people, or even a small little house or road stamp, just to kind of make things bring even more to life.
Nice.
It's an odd intelligence in this eye, but in this eye it looks like it's going, oh! See this eye? Look at that eye.
I feel like that one's too high up.
Yeah.
You know, if only we could make character art that was like pixel perfect.
You know what? You can, and that's with reroll, where you can make pixel.
Genius. See, that's so good, Alex. Give yourself a high five.
Not just clapping.
Just clap for yourself.
Reroll. Create visual character sheets from Dungeons and Dragons characters using pixel art and a plethora of customization options. Customize your character from hundreds of options. You can customize your character's body, face, hairstyle, armor, weapons from a plethora of options, such as 14 supported races, 150 weapons, 400 armors, and 20 mini bases.
It got me? What happened?
We're playing D&D.
Woo! Matt got hurt. We're playing D&D.
What me for once. Reroll is a nifty
I've been
app.
way too long. It punished me.
It did. It's still mad at you because you made it. Like you can make your pixel minis, and it comes with a character sheet, so you can customize, put all your features in. It can all be handy dandy in your little app. That'll bring us over to our what's going on.
Our giveaway this month, if we hit our giveaway
Okay.
goal,
We'll
is
look at that.
a journey through the Radiant Citadel. It's a brand new adventure book. It releases in July. Get that to post. But basically, it's an anthology of 13 standalone adventures set in wondrous lands for the world's greatest role-playing game. You can take them and use it. That has maps to support them. You can use them as a part of just one-shot adventures, or you can put them and insert them into your world as you see fit. It also includes an additional 11 monsters and a bunch of details, so you can implement these stories into your games. It's for characters level 1 to 14, so that's the most common range of play. So if you got a game going on, unless it's epic level, you could use this content. And then if you're in epic level, just scale it up. You just have to roll more to win. I don't know. That's how you scale stuff, right? Numbers just get bigger. More or less? More or less? You just make numbers bigger to scale. Scale up.
Sometimes you can have more of the smaller numbers.
That's true.
I guess that is true. I don't know. Difficult terrain and all that. And then, of course, if we hit our bits goal of 1,000 bits, our benchmark for that, our bits leader for the month will get a personalized gift from a member of our cast, which this month, I believe, is our very own Matt.
This guy.
Matt this month. So if you would like a personalized gift from our in-house comedian, big, lovable hug bear, handsome devil.
No.
Except for when he's
Inaccurate.
mad.
Inaccurate.
You're handsome.
Yeah.
Except
Especially
for
when
when
you
he's
grow out
mad.
the
Then he's
beard.
kind of a
You're
Fisk.
handsome.
Yeah, I tried to get him to dress up as Fisk for Halloween and he wouldn't do it.
I kind of dress like that.
You should do it because our kobold would love the opportunity to dress up as Spider-Man.
And then you fight.
I need to get a suit, so it might happen by accident, but suits are expensive, especially when they're like extra suits. So
Extra suits. Nice. But yes, so
It's
you're
not
getting
nice.
a personalized
it's a
gift
fucking nightmare.
from a member of our cast because we appreciate you. Our giveaways are not limited to subscribers, followers, and just people that choose to spend their time with us. You're all valuable members of our community, and we appreciate you. So those are our giveaways.
You said difficult terrain, and it made me think of a thing. What about like a D&D podcast, TM, where so if I say TM, they can't steal it. So D&D podcast where DMs get together and they discuss messages that come in about problem players. So we call it difficult terrain because it's just like how to handle this player at the table, how to deal with these issues that pop up, because I see them all the time on Facebook. People are constantly like, oh my god, my player keeps doing this, I don't know what to do. One guy the other day, he's like, I've got one player at the table who's a murder hobo and everybody else wants to role play, but I can't get rid of this player at the table because they're my wife. What do I do? I'm just like,
if you limit your
Kill your wife.
options, you limit your solutions, and divorce is legal. So
Yeah, that's true.
but I do like that name
Yeah.
for that
well, difficult terrain.
type of concept.
That
which
is a pretty
like
good name for it.
yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
You're
TM.
welcome.
You said
TM.
it first
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
world. It's yours
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like difficult
Carbon
terrain
dated or
is
something.
as a part of a
So it's
game or
carbon
something.
dated or something.
Well, what you do is you write it down and you mail it to yourself, certified mail, and you just never open it. But then I don't know how you're supposed to make it if you can't open it after you send it to yourself. I don't know. Needs some work.
Need some work.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
For
Kill
sure.
him.
Work in the chats, everybody. But yeah, and so as
Difficult
far as
terrain.
how have each of the players spent our past month? Like not in game.
Fumble.
I thought he just like hella kicked her or something. He tripped. Our kobold
Oh,
like
no,
did this
if the
weird,
kobold
like,
kicked
trip
that dog, the
maneuver,
kobold would
and
never
I'm
be
like, did he
welcome
just
back.
like
He knows
kick
that.
the dog?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kobold would kick its own ass.
Yeah.
If it kicked the dog, yeah.
So
Doesn't happen here.
So it's not really a secret.
no.
We haven't really been around for a few weeks, unfortunately, because life happens.
Weird schedules, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of people needed time to themselves.
Alex spent a
stuff
lot of
going
time
on.
around
People got
playgrounds.
sick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I went and
We
I
just-
did a playground
yeah.
inspection course. To put that into context, I took a playground inspection course. Certified playground inspector. It's a thing. Apparently kids just kill themselves all the time on playgrounds. And so I got trained on what to
Awesome.
look for to make sure that doesn't happen.
He meant the playground.
Yeah, I went to Oregon. Very,
whatever.
very nice. Portland, Oregon. Very
Yep,
nice. They
capital
had
of
a
playgrounds.
mall.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, they had a
Playground
lot of
capital of the
playgrounds. They had a mall with a graveyard like across the street. It was
That's how
very
bad the
like
parks are.
80s movie. Like I was waiting for like a horror movie to break out. We went to the Lego store, and basically it was pretty nice. It rained and it was dank the whole time, which was everything was
Shit, dank?
green. Dank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and everything was green.
Yeah,
We live in the desert, so
Did you
that
get
was
high
really
in
refreshing.
Oregon? Did you get high in Oregon?
No, I did not get high. I did get a little depressed until I got out of Portland because apparently it rains all the time there. So anywhere that there was like an awning or a covering, it was just tent city galore. Like
Mm.
every bridge
Oh.
had like small communities under it, and I'm like, this is sad.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and there's like small community living in tents next to the Intel building, and I'm like, weird.
It's probably their prize employees.
Yeah, yeah. There's probably some interns that can't afford to actually live there, so they're just like in their tents, and they're like, "Pick up coffee." Well, I need the company card. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
That's
I
nice.
started a crafting project making city tiles from this
Modular city tiles.
Yeah, modular city
Street tiles with
Yeah.
sidewalk and cobblestone streets, and then
Yeah.
even gutters
Yep.
for your
Yeah, because
sewers.
if you don't have gutters, how do you explain sewer tiles and sewer
I
networks?
was gonna
right?
say gutter barely know her, but that's dark.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was set up for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been working on that. I've been posting that in the Discord. Keep up with that. But it's my first like real crafting project. And I'm like ankle or knee deep or something lower part of my body deep in it. And yeah, lots of failures. Lots of just like not realizing things, and I think I'm doing it right and I'm just doing it wrong. But I guess it's part of the creative process. A lot of stuff I didn't think would work, but then starts to kind of work.
When you mess up, that's just learning, baby.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well,
Neat.
it sucks when you're paying for the stuff that you're putting together and then you ruin it, and then you're like, well, all the money I spent on the stuff I just put together is ruined.
Michael
There's not a
Francis
lot.
Frazier. What's new with you?
No.
That's not my middle name.
Francis isn't your middle
No,
name?
that's not my middle name.
It should be.
Anthony.
Francis
No.
Frazier.
You'll never get it.
FF, like
I
Final
can see
You
that
Fantasy.
told me what it was.
I have.
I just now remembered that you told me, but I don't remember what you told me.
Michael Scott Frazier.
No.
I do like.
If you want to,
How come I've never mentioned that your initials are MF?
it is.
Well,
It's
Yeah,
it's
why
in
have I
it.
never
Tara would
utilized
enjoy
that
what my middle name
properly?
is.
What's she whine? That's weird.
Because it's
Well,
Tara.
now I
No,
feel-
it's because
Oh,
it's the
isn't
noise
it
that Link makes.
Hyatt?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh, that's right. It's
See,
Hyatt.
I knew it.
That's not your
Yeah.
middle name.
You guys are fake
That is
friends.
my middle name.
Your middle name is not Scott.
Oh no, I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're totally
It is
fake
the
friends.
noise Link makes.
So
show
where's
me,
the wedding?
Show me your driver's license. Oh wait.
Fucking rude.
Here's a state ID.
I do. Yeah, show me your state ID. Show me your social security card.
No.
Right now.
No, that's somewhere else.
Show it to the camera.
Yeah.
No.
Don't
No.
you try and befuddle our audience with lies.
Well, so my middle name is actually pronounced Hyatt.
You said from because
oh,
you
like
said
the hotel.
Yes.
you said because Link
Bougie
says it all the
son
time,
of a
but all I actually heard is because it's in the Zelda game. So I thought your middle name was Michael. Hey, listen, Frazier.
Hey, listen, Frazier. My name is Michael. Hey, listen, Frazier.
Speaking of weird voices like that, jump into our Discord. Go check out our channels. We've got 2 of them. Talk the Talk and what was this other one called?
Voice of the month.
Voice of the Month and Talk the Talk, where you can go in there and we've picked monologues and we'll pick a new one each month. Go in there, record yourself. Whether or not you're an aspiring voice actor, it's just fun anyway. You know, go throw your own twist on whatever monologue we put up there. Listen to some of us do them. I really liked your Willy Wonka. Well, you didn't do an impersonation of Willy Wonka, but your monologue for that,
Mhm.
you sounded almost annoyed with everything,
Yeah.
and it was really cool. I thought it sounded great.
I felt like he felt tired.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
he's
was
just
like a
over it.
mix of it. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little tired, annoyed.
It was
Yep.
good.
I was trying to do something different than an impersonation because I recorded it like 5 or 6 times. And I'm like, these are all impersonations, and I'm like, all right.
I've recorded this one. I think like a grand total of like 20 to 30 times so far.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah. And then I don't know
You
anything
should see
about
how many
anime.
times it takes me to get freaking tail.
I don't know anything about anime, but I was challenged to put an anime monologue in there, so I did one from, I believe the show is called Princess Mononoke's Howling Castle, something like that.
There's the door. You can leave now.
What is it actually called? Hold on, I remember.
Well, that's two different movies.
Like, literally, at this point, you don't
There's
need to be here.
Princess
Hold on.
Mononoke
There's the door.
and then
It's-
Howl's Moving Castle.
it's-
Those are two
hold on,
different movies.
Hold on.
Look, I don't even watch it. And I
It
know
was.
that.
Hold
Go
on. It was.
Blood
Jeez.
Brotherhood.
You should be real familiar.
Alchemist something.
You should be real familiar with the
Oh
third
my
word.
gosh.
Oh no, I don't know if this was from the from that
Alchemist
one.
something.
Full Metal,
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Bam. Whew, I said it all by
What
myself.
does that have to do with Princess Mononoke?
It doesn't.
Moving
It's
Castle.
from
They're
Full Metal
basically the
Alchemist
same.
Brotherhood. And
At
it's-
this point, I don't know if you're
it's-
messing around or I'm just shocked.
I
that
started
they-
out to mess around, but then it really got to me, and I couldn't figure it out for reals.
Okay, I was worried. I was like, God, at this point, I don't know if he's serious or.
The
An
initial
idiot.
was a joke, but then it took over. Anyways, there's a monologue on there from Father, who, contextually speaking, I'm guessing is a real prick. So,
What? No, he's not a prick.
oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It looks honestly, it looks
You
like something
gotta
I really
talk
want to
some
watch.
prick.
It looks like
He
something I
just-
really want to watch, but
Doesn't think humans are worth his time of day.
That's kind of prickish.
No.
I would disagree with that.
It's either
So would
prickish or
Ulfion.
prattist.
Prick. Ulfion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is Ulfion a prick because he
Ulfion-
doesn't like most humans he interacts with?
Yes.
Kind of is.
Oh shit! You heard it here, folks. Ulfion's a prick.
Kind of.
Just go into the character bios and just change his little thing, to just be like,
Bit of a
Sounds
prick.
like-
a-hole.
Bit of a prick.
Yeah, it's like servant of the Seldrine, blah 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 blah. Just delete a-hole. Tells you everything you need to know.
Attention whore, loot goblin, daddy issues, a-hole, edgelord. Whole package.
Yeah. Hey, she put that behind her.
Yeah.
Don't you
She
know?
should.
That's true.
Look,
Now it's mommy issues.
Yeah.
Actually, good point.
the edge
Legitimate.
is
At
fine.
this point, it's just parent issues.
All I'm saying is Freud would have a field day.
Freud would have a field day.
Freud was
Probably
the guy
would.
who
Oh
said
man,
everyone
anybody else get up to
is
anything great
fun.
while we were gone? Anybody do anything cool?
No, it wasn't cool, but I went down to Anaheim.
Hey, that's cool. You also, you cooked up a whole hog.
Oh yeah, I did cook a whole
Yeah,
pig.
trigger warning for vegans. Anyway, go.
Okay, so that was like the first week we took off, or maybe the second.
I think it was the second.
I went down to Anaheim. That was sad. It was family stuff. My my uncle died very suddenly.
Edgelord.
Yeah. And then the next week it was. Thank you. He's
You,
still dead.
you gotta keep
though.
the story.
Your house won't bring my uncle back.
No,
Miserable
then it was
vengeance.
immediately the next weekend was fun party time because my niece graduated, so that was a nice flip. But sure, I cooked an entire
Did he
a
just grab
whole
a sharp object and
whole hog
leave?
barbecue, which is pretty cool. I should probably share the pictures.
Yeah, you probably should.
I didn't take many
You
because I
probably
was
should
working the whole
have
time.
already.
Like, I'm a bad person. What can I say?
yeah, I mean,
But if you do a whole hog smoked, it turns the skin on the outside basically into one big piece of leather, so you can just peel it right off in one piece. I have a video of that somewhere.
Was it satisfying?
Yeah, it sounds like leather when you tear it
Do
too.
you eat the skin at all?
It's pretty inedible at
Did
that
you
point.
stew it maybe?
Broth it up.
You could probably make like a smoky pig fat broth, but most of the fat, like it was cooking for like 14 hours, so the fat was all just like liquid. It was like
A
Gone.
ramen. You can make a ramen out of it.
you could
Yeah.
sort of do ramen. I have some of the pork still. It's like frozen and it's pretty good, but
Well, to stay on theme, since Edgelord,
yeah, we did it.
I'm
we
the
did a
Loot
luau.
Goblin.
We did a
Um,
luau. That's what we did. It was whole.
Two of us got promoted over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Well, you were promoted. I was recognized for doing something I'd been doing for a little bit anyway.
Still promotion. Still counts.
Fair enough. Yeah, promoted.
Yeah.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't sell TVs anymore. I sell appliances.
More monies.
Yes.
More monies.
I don't sell TVs or appliances. I sell team spirit.
That didn't have any
Oh, my
enthusiasm.
dad's calling me.
Not team spirit.
Just
already.
answer.
Should
it.
I
Hey,
answer
Dad,
it?
I'm just
Your
on
dad's
the
name in your
show.
phone is just his name?
Yeah, I don't want
It's
anybody
not
to. I don't want
Dad.
anybody to look in my phone and be like, "Oh, this is his father. Watch this."
You have the same last
I'm gonna
name.
answer it and put him on speakerphone right now.
Like
Hold
my
on.
dad and my phone is Pops.
Hold on. Hey, Dad, we're live on the show right now. How you doing?
I didn't know you were live on the show. I'm fucking you.
Yeah?
You were doing shows on Saturday.
No,
Did you
soon,
have to answer?
soon. I know we didn't have to answer. We thought it'd be fun.
Oh my gosh, there's
Yeah.
a hint.
Yeah,
You just
you're on
dropped a hint.
speakerphone.
Oh, good. How's the show going?
You know what? We had a short hiatus as life got in the way for some scheduling and stuff. So this is our first night back in like 3 weeks, and we're all kind of just catching up with everybody right now. We haven't even started playing yet.
Cool. Same characters as last I saw?
Same characters as last you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for the
don't
most part.
know. Do you remember the big scary barbarian guy? And do you remember me being an elf that's a big jerk?
Or is he talking about Brom
Yeah,
and all those characters? Brom, Felix. Brom, Felix.
We're all talking. We're all trying to figure out what you remember.
Yeah.
So
many different
What
things.
storyline are you doing?
this is the storyline about the dragons that may be trying to take over or destroy the world. And you don't remember that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see that
Well,
one. I didn't see that one.
www.twitch.tv
TV/legendary
action official.com.
Say it in a salesman's voice.
In a salesman's voice?
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to watch
That's-
an adventure? Go to twitch.tv/legendary action official.
There you go.
.com.
All right. I love you, Dad.
Or YouTube.
I love you too.
Bye.
Or YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
And also, I got promoted too.
Woo!
Yeah, Mike forgot because it doesn't have to do with him directly. So
No, you just told me once and it wasn't on the top of my mind.
yeah. So 3 of us got promoted.
My new job just pays way better than the last job. So.
Oh, aren't you special with all your money? How do you sleep at night?
I don't have that much money.
In a bed.
1%er over there.
Whatever, man. The only reason you can even come close to
Yes.
saying that.
Doubling over your words.
First of all, that's only true until Tara gets her house, because I bet you her first house is going to be way nicer than mine.
Oh yeah, she's 1%er too.
Oh yeah, for
With
sure.
that joint income, no kids. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
until then, yeah, I
Yeah.
got the most monies.
Yeah.
Only if you count the value of the house. Otherwise, I'm broke.
What?
That's net worth, baby.
Net worth,
Right.
that's equity right there. Hell yeah.
My brain's just braining.
You have a brain?
I do.
Weird.
Yeah, which is really interesting because it turns out you don't need one.
I mean, yeah, not really.
You don't, maybe.
I don't need one. I turned that thing off.
Hashtag overrated.
Should we play
I
D&D?
turned my brain off so hard
I think
that
we're ready to play
last
D&D
night
at this
I was
point.
binge watching a show and my roommate said, "You doing okay?" I'm like, "Yeah."
We have
Great,
our
just watching
Too Long Didn't Watch up and ready to go?
Yes, I made sure it was.
Awesome. So, we're going to play our Too Long Didn't Watch. You can catch up on what happened last when we left the crew here, and we will catch you on the other side. So, bye.
Hello and welcome to episode 138, Carry On, My Wayward Trin. After reaching Cornwall, the party saddles up and heads out in search of the caravan Madame Ophelia is a part of.
The sounds of stringed instruments and multiple bands and different music being played throughout the camp kind of just goes across the air. The smells of great cooking and awesome meals of all sorts, soups, and then plus fresh meat kind of just permeate everything. Incense and more exotic spicing smells kind of wafting over the warm summer air of the Empire.
After relaxing and dancing and enjoying the atmosphere, the party moves deeper into the caravan to meet Madame Ophelia, only to stop at the entrance. Trin asks Ulthion to stay outside. As they step in, they meet Madame Ophelia.
But with gentle voice, sort of kind of purrs a greeting from one of the darkened corners. And there you see standing is a very lithe, panther-like tabaxi with these bright yellow eyes, which kind of stare out from underneath this hooded cowl. Like most of the other women that you've seen in camp, she's wearing a dress, but this is a rather ornate and flower-patterned corset with a ruffled cream-colored top. She has a long red and black rectangular pattern skirt that comes down to her ankles. This golden chain with this sapphire from a headdress kind of hangs down and rests just right on her forehead as so. And she steps forward, exiting the obscuring shadows, and walks over to Trin. And a slight grin curls from underneath the lips. And you see these sharp, cat-like teeth underneath. And then she just hugs him and picks him up off of the floor.
Oh, I'm Ophelia.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Man, she just kind of laughs, this cat-like laugh, and then just kisses him on the cheeks repeatedly to the point where it becomes uncomfortable for the goblin. And she sets you down, and she looks at all of you. So, I see that you are Trin's friends, then.
Yep.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. Well, he says that you have some issues, correct? Problems, a hex on your minds.
Trin and Madame Ophelia prep for a ritual and perform it. As the world blurs, the party wakes up exhausted, feeling sore and their minds tired, and Trin reveals some truths.
There's some things you should know. Of the things I saw, I know it's not the same as having your memories back, but it might make you feel better about the things that did happen. The first thing you should know is about Hargraves. You were all being tortured day in and day out. And then they left you to commiserate with one another. But you had a chance to get out, but one of you had to stay. And you fought about it together because you're heroes. But ultimately, Hargraves volunteered to stay behind. He chose to. You didn't abandon him. And even then, it wasn't an easy way out. You had to fight and claw for every step. And Brittle! I look over at Locke.
Brittle saved you. She had a chance to get out with everyone else. But she turned and fought the devils to give you all a chance to get out. You specifically, Locke. It was all set up.
What was it set up?
The whole deal. Getting out of hell. Hargraves is still there.
In hell?
You were lied to. That's why my message never came back. He's still there, paying the price so that you can do what you need to do here. He's still collateral. I can't believe you all held on as long as you did. But you don't need the rest of it. turns out that Glacier is responsible for it all.
Their minds heavy with new information, they're guided to beds. In the warm summer, they decide to rest.
Great watchers of the wood, my friend is in need of a little extra care tonight. Please bless him with the protection you would normally afford me. And I'll cast protection from evil on him so he can sleep in peace, hopefully.
Okay. Anything else before bed?
Hey, depending how cold the weather is, I'll take my cloak off and tuck it around Trin, just to make sure he's extra warm.
It's summer.
Summer? Then yeah, I won't.
Do it anyway.
No,
Make him sweat.
no, that's rude.
All right.
Going to sleep.
Yeah. So in soft beds with blankets and the cool night air kind of blowing in, you settle in for a well-deserved and needed rest. Until next Friday.
Motherfucker.
Oh, jeez.
Mother trucker.
What a session.
And that's your Legendary Action recap. As always, thank you for stopping by and supporting our wonderful production. Catch our live streams Fridays at 7:30 PST to see a bunch of unapologetic.
The devils play their games.
We're back.
Hello.
What devilish games do the
Ta-da.
devils play?
What devilish games.
Oh, indeed.
So, when we last left off, you had basically gone into rest mode. All right, you were all super worn, super tired. Trin was just completely kicked. He'd been trampled on, beaten, and was tired, and he needed time to recuperate. And you knew based on that you were going to have to spend some time here, just trying to recuperate, figure out what your next steps are.
Yeah,
And you spend 3 or 4 days living amongst these people and kind of just being taken care of and being treated like family. And Trin helped make sure that you were looked after. You know, they restocked you on whatever they could when it comes to like spell components and food, and you have enough supplies and rations to last you guys at least a few weeks apiece, and well made like traveling food. You ate, you spent some time, made some friends, but ultimately you knew that you had to figure out what your next step was going to be with everything that you learned. Now that you're no longer being threatened by Hecate, then you're kind of free to just approach everything freely moving forward. You can go wherever you want and do whatever you need to without this fucking sword of Damocles just hanging over you, waiting to see if she's going to take it out on you and be furious with you or curse you or whatever it's going to be. So now you have time to kind of just discuss that. So Madame Ophelia kind of calls together a meal inside her wagon where she knows that you can all talk privately and openly about whatever you need to and not have to worry about it going anywhere outside of that, given the nature of her protective barriers and magics that are in the wagon. And you'll be all right to just be in there and have this discussion. So yeah, that's where we'll pick up. Since the last time you were in there, the wagon hasn't changed much, but she replaced that small round table with like a much larger seating area to be able to hold all of you. So it was the 5 of you plus Madame Ophelia at the table. You haven't seen Victor yet. You did have a chance to speak to him on a couple of occasions over the week that you were there, but honestly, most of you all everyone except for Ulthion was too worn out from the ordeal to really get up to very much outside of just resting.
Thank you, Madame Ophelia. This is quite the meal.
Oh, but of course.
I'm excited for this.
Feel free to eat, feel free to drink. You know, speak amongst yourselves. I know that you have much going on.
It has been a week since I've had ale. I'm very excited.
The parties were every night. Why did you wait?
I was told I should drink water and food, nothing else.
It's part of the recovery process.
Fair enough.
It's hard to recover from one thing when he's recovering from another.
Maybe you could just learn to drink in moderation.
What's that?
That's a big maybe.
So, it's when you do things, but not at 100%. You do it.
Then why do something?
Well,
You're not going to do it at 100%, why do it?
some people think it's more efficient to do many things at 70% than one thing at 100%.
Well, they're stupid.
It's
Good
good to see
old
you're back in
Godric.
health. Yes.
Yeah,
This is just like Mom used to make. Got her gumbo? You want some? And I take a spoonful, like a ladle full of the slop, and I plop it down next to his bread. Just mix it in there.
Mix it in with the bread.
Yeah.
Godric hesitates for a second and then just kind of shrugs his shoulders and just kind of takes the bread, scoops it into a half, and just throws the whole thing.
it's a very strong flavor. It's kind of like when you're sipping on a drink. You just kind of let it marinate in your mouth.
I can see it, and I'm glad I can't smell.
What's...
It
What's in
reminds
it?
me of
I'm not quite sure.
it
you want
reminds
to
me when
know.
we're really low on food,
I'm
we
not
use
going
the
to try it,
intestines
then.
of
Has
most
the word
beasts,
gutter in it.
and we mix them up and kind of make a schlop of meat.
Schlop.
What?
It's just
Like the spices and the
Picking
herbs
up the
are really
words?
hitting you.
Isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I didn't taste much. I'm gonna be honest.
Well-
It tasted more like
It's a vibrant palate.
it's a lot of different things, so it tastes not like a lot of things.
I think you need to work on your flavor profile you got going on up there.
What?
I don't know, do things just not like really taste like much to you? Does everything like taste like ash or something?
Well,
No.
that's a good question. What would be your absolute favorite food?
A good boar. Slow cooked.
Well, that's an animal.
I'm not. I'm the slow cooked in the earth for 2 days with some honey.
That's it. Just boar and honey.
We don't have a lot of extra things in growing up in my tribe. I'm used to more things now, but something that's like would taste just like home.
Oh, so your favorite food is a nostalgic piece, not necessarily a tasteful piece.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Things that bring me closer to home are nice. If you can't go back to it,
Yeah,
it's
but
nice
this
to feel like you're home again.
Yeah, it just feels like it would serve as a reminder that you can't go home.
I can eventually. I just have to kill Andrakar. Hopefully.
Yes.
I don't even know if that'll work. Just...
I haven't done a whole lot of reading, but yeah, killed one of the most powerful dragons that walks Terrowyn. I'm sure that you'll get to go home someday.
I would fucking hope so.
I'll
Just
do what I
saying.
can to help.
Do you have any idea what type of conversation would happen if I walked home? I'm like, yeah, I killed them all. Andrakar's dead. These other 5 are dead. I want to come home. And they're like, you're not done yet. Someone's getting their head taken off. I'm just saying.
I imagine the conversation would go like, well, with the way you talk. Let me try it in the voice of Godric.
You see Godric shift and hold his mug with 2 hands and a smile.
You know what? Never mind.
But
you know, I was curious.
All right, there'd be something like I could see them saying, "Oh, fuck you,
What's an
prove it."
Andrakar?
Like that.
It all checks out.
So how do you prove it when it happens? Buy a big wagon and bring Andrakar's head back.
I am now. I didn't think about that before. I am now.
Or you're going to carry it the whole.
Absolutely.
You're going to.
Do you not have to prove your exploits, or it was
You could probably build
the
a
getting
whole
a
novel
cart
as
that you
Honestly,
didn't think
if you're capable of killing Andrakar, you'll probably be able to prove it just by showing up and flexing a little.
I don't think I never thought about proving it. I just thought about going home and saying I did it. And
I kind of figured it would be like, you know, if it's a really big, powerful dragon, all the parts of it would be big. So maybe not the whole head, but you just take a claw or a tooth, and it's like huge.
I've always it's funny because I've always been interested in using the parts of a dragon to forge a weapon. Like if you were to quench a sword with the blood of a dragon, would magic somehow imbue itself in the blade?
Well, I'm sure there's much more to it than that, but I'd be willing to
Or
bet
if you
that's
were
one of the
to
ingredients.
take enough blood from a dragon and then get the materials out of it to forge it, so it's all cool stuff.
There is a small sect of the Dark Elves that will drink in a ritual the blood of dragons, and they're quite formidable.
Well, you know,
though it is a complete and utterly vile ritual.
there's definitely the form of inherent magic to most things being. I mean, Madame Ophelia can tell you as much, so I can only imagine it be amplified by a big being like a dragon.
And I know you don't wear armor, really, but I'm sure you could make a cloak out of the scales or something. That would be quite neat.
Got her kind of thinking about like the flexiness of like dragon skin cloak.
Shield out of one of the larger scales.
Not bad ideas. Maybe just
sharpen a tooth into a sword.
A pick.
Yeah, and then you really just...
The teeth are quite large.
Yeah, and once you're wrapped in everything that makes up a dragon as a dragon, you'll become the thing you hate most.
I wonder how much...
You sort of have a point. I mean, we don't go around killing our enemies, the Drukar, the Dark Elves, and then wrapping ourselves in their flesh.
They're not great mythical beings that are all powerful generally.
Yeah, but I thought part of the...
Well, they're elves, so you're wrong.
Well, wasn't
But dragons are better than elves, and that's why you worship them.
Well, I thought part of your point was to show that...
Venerate. They're wrong word.
Was to show that...
Counsel with them. We treat each other more or less as equals.
I thought you were trying to show that, like, giants are strong and worthy of your lord's attention. And
Not giants. Goliaths.
Oh, Goliaths. Big Goliaths would be worthy of your god's attention, so... Like, it kind of seems like, oh, yeah, look how great we are, but you're parading in dragon skin.
Yes. Because it's a trophy from a slain thing. Yes.
Yeah, but, like, wouldn't true strength not be depending on the bones and the parts of the dragon to make you stronger?
Well, they've already killed it, so...
I guess. Oh.
I already achieved the thing I set out to do.
Seems kind of counterintuitive, is all I'm saying.
I don't know. You got me on that. I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm still kind of fuzzy.
It has been a long week.
Speaking of, Otheon, how's your week? You finally loosen up a little bit? Because the rest of us were kind of recovering, so...
I'm incredibly loose. I don't understand.
Well, did you have a good time in the camp?
Yes.
You get up to anything special?
Actually, I have quite the following now. I've been instructing some of the people here. It's quite, actually, very exciting. I had one of the most raucous days I've had in quite a while as I taught a lesson on the first alliance between elves and dwarves. It was riveting.
Was that what
The brothers, the ogres, actually continue to come to my classes. I'm thinking they have a hard time sleeping in.
Just look at the door like...
Well, I can put them to sleep with my lectures, and it seems to be helping. And honestly, if they only hear a couple sentences, it's more education than they probably had. And I don't mean that insultingly, but you were here with the caravan for a long time. Is this?
Well, yeah, for a while.
What did you learn here? Why were you here?
Well, first I was here because I was training under Victor, and he needed to come see Madame Ophelia for some help on a mission he was working on. And then, of course, while he was going about and gathering his information and facts and waiting on a couple of his allies to show up to support, I got close with some of the members of the camp.
So you're apprenticed to Victor, you were?
Yeah.
And where is he now?
Well, he's around here somewhere.
But he'd leave you to go on his errands?
Well, he said it was really dangerous and that I wasn't really ready for it. And I was still learning. It was really cool because we were heroes and we were saving people and we were doing all the glamorous things.
Or he was.
Well,
How much
I helped.
glamour did you get up to?
I was there and I was helping. It was like a team thing. Like, yeah, I was learning from him, but he couldn't have done it without my help.
Well, I believe that, because there are plenty of things we couldn't have done without you.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. But then, of course, after the incident, I stayed and trained under Madame Ophelia for a little under a year. Yeah, he, things went wrong with his mission, and it's kind of my fault. And so I was trying to be helpful. Yeah, I just kind of messed things up. It's, put it lightly. There was this girl, and she was suspected of some sort of devilish influence, and he said I wasn't ready, but I still wanted to help, and so I did, but my help just made everything worse, and so...
What happened to the girl?
She didn't make it.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's cold, hard truth in this modern age, though, that sometimes we fail. Does Victor hold that against you? Is that why you stayed?
Well, I stayed because we couldn't really go, because he hasn't really been the same since. Sometimes, how to put it, he hasn't been the same, so most of the time he's okay and he's all there, but sometimes he's not quite himself, and in order to do the type of work that we do, you need your faculties about you. Just like how you had to fix your memories so they couldn't be used against you, but his longer lasting. And so I trained under Madame Ophelia to kind of bridge the gap and learn the protections I would need to make sure that kind of thing didn't happen again.
And Victor's here now, trying to cure himself of whatever ails him?
I don't think he's trying to cure himself. He just travels with the camp and helps out Madame Ophelia, and honestly, Madame Ophelia kind of looks after him. His days of real adventure are over. So I picked up that torch.
It's a torch you would have picked up one way or another.
Yeah, but now it means more because it's my fault that he can't, that he's in the circumstances he's in.
Well, it has to mean something, otherwise there's almost no point, right? Is anybody still here just for riches? we all have something dear to our heart. The reason we're here, the reason we're fighting.
I don't know. I know there are those that fight to survive just because they've made it that far.
Well, sometimes we fight for greater good, and sometimes we fight so that we don't fucking die.
Yeah, but it's one thing to. Basically, what I'm saying is, instead of just filling out my own shoes and finding my own way, I got much bigger shoes to fill because there's an expectation if I'm going to make up that difference.
Was he that great of a hero? Was he saving that many lives?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He was saving lives. I don't know what kind of scale you would really put it on. But yeah, he was a hero, and he still is. I don't know all the ins and outs about the fix that happened, but I know he didn't have to. So in a way, he kind of sacrificed himself to make sure that I could fill his shoes.
And you feel guilty about that? Because you caused it?
Well, yeah, if I had just listened and I didn't interject, I was manipulated by a demon.
It's their forte.
I didn't know what was going on. They were trying to expel it, to destroy it. But it must have known I was there and pretended to be just this hurt girl. And so I, per the usual, I didn't have the guts to see them go through with hurting this girl.
Yes. How dare you attempt to do the right thing?
Yeah, but it was wrong, and it was a mistake that wasn't necessary, because if I had only listened, I wouldn't have had to do the wrong thing in the first place. You said before, I try to ignore when he turns really sour and gets upset, but I know it's one of those things that he wouldn't take it back if you asked him to. But I know he wishes I didn't put him in the position where he had to make the decision to give up being a hero for me.
It's an interesting thought, giving up being a hero for someone else, for their opportunity, or to save them. Isn't that the point, though? Is a hero's job is sacrifice, one way or another. You end up giving it up.
Yeah, well, ever since then, I've needed to make sure it was worth it.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Because, we make sacrifices, and that could have been one of those sacrifices for him to go on and save a bunch of other people smart enough to listen to him.
You've saved people already.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll save more.
We saved the whole goddamn city. We saved Lior.
We're going to save
Pretty sure we did.
Yeah, see that? There he is. There he is. Been down in the dumps lately. It's nice to hear you.
Nice of you to join the conversation, Locke. Missed you a little bit.
Well, I've been keeping myself occupied. Sorry. what we're doing now is important. Can't take back our mistakes, but just try to do better.
And it just means that what he did was important because it led you to us. And we will lead to stopping Takesis. Or we all die.
It's funny from the outside, hearing you talk about it. I must sound pretty self-aggrandizing at times. Sitting around, burned by glorious purpose, we will save the world and defeat all of the great evils. We could be out of our minds.
Already died.
No. There is no could be. The answer is yes. Yes, we are.
Well, yeah. I think we can.
No one has a better chance than we do.
Yeah.
Well, you're immortal, so that'll help quite a bit.
That's true.
We've all died for the cause. How much more can we give?
I may be the first one to jump at the dragon, but even I know it's fucking crazy.
Well, the hard part is people like us, the personality types that we possess, giving yourself up is easy. Hell, some of us probably want it in small ways. I'm sure Godric's thought multiple times of that great, glorious moment in which he sacrifices his life for everyone else. But
I haven't really thought about that at all.
I was born thinking about that. But I think the harder part is when it comes down to it, realizing that you may have to sacrifice others for each other.
Yeah, well, the real hard part about that is you're making the decision for them. It's one thing to be a hero or a martyr and have things possibly not work out in your favor, but when you take that decision out of someone else's hands, it's heavier.
What is that? There's a saying. Heavy is the person who has a crown.
Yes, no, I've heard this before. Basically, those who ascend to nobility live easy lives and they get fat, so they become heavier.
I think it's heavy lies the crown. It's
And
the
that
responsibility and burden of leadership.
sounds much better than what I said.
Interesting. I've heard something similar to that. Heavy are the shoulders where investments rest.
It's all the same.
Well, there's
no right answer, just the least worst.
the cause exists
Cynical, but you
because
may be right.
there's always going to be an evil out there. Today it's dragons. And then tomorrow, who knows?
So then, does it ever end? Let's say we stop Takesis and accomplish the finality of our tasks. At that point, do we go off and retire? Do we choose the next evil and fight that as well?
It's over when we decided. Yes.
There's going to come a day when most of us won't be here. By that I mean us three, and then you two will probably still be around. Another great evil or something will arise, and other heroes will replace us. And you will sit there on the sidelines, wishing them well.
So then, at some point, we all become Von Bell. Whether it happens now or later, you either die or you sit and watch others die for the cause.
Well, I like to think that we're still holding back the darkness or evil because the people that we pass on the torch to are our legacy, and they help protect the innocent among us who can't protect themselves.
I mean, even if you think about it, we're carrying on what others have done before.
Right, there were statues in Green Trust.
I mean, we're under their name.
We are?
Well, it came from the previous group, and then we became the group.
Maybe it's because I'm a bard or flight of fancy, but legacies and passing things on and the romance of it all is pretty neat.
It is neat. And we all have our reasons for doing what we're doing, and I feel that they are all very good reasons, but I must be honest, Trin, your motivation is inspiring. Doing it for someone else instead of someone else is good.
Well, I know that what happened that night is the effects of it will last for a long time, and one day the evil from that night will come back. Madam Ophelia said as such. And when that happens, I need to be strong enough to do what I couldn't do then.
As long as everything permits, I'll be there with you.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
If we're here, you wouldn't be doing it alone, that's for sure. I do wonder, though, how did you meet Von Bell? How did that happen?
That's a good question.
Oh, well, he was in my hometown, and he actually got me out of some trouble. Funny enough, I had a little bit of a run-in with some of the local brutes, bugbears, and he basically said that I was his helper, his servant, and that the bugbears were confused, and he basically talked them into a fluster. And he was able to
We didn't
rescue
invite
me.
her up to dinner. I forgot again.
He's down by the creek enjoying the night.
Let's just say there wasn't enough table space, and it was we all ate nothing but salad, and it was boring.
You could
Doesn't he like salad?
You can also just say that the wagon was too small once you put Godric in it. Because I shouldn't be in here. Just saying.
That's right. He doesn't know magic. He wouldn't. That could work. Just said not everybody even fit.
Godric had to put his head through a window.
You'd believe that.
But
Someone else have to tell him, though. He understands my lies.
Why lie?
What?
Why
To
lie?
spare his feelings. Same reason I lie to you.
I was so surprised that he was able to get me out of it all that I just kind of followed him around, and I listened to his fancy stories of adventuring and saving the day and meeting nobility of title and means, and he was so friendly, especially for a human. But he was a man of the realm, right? And let's just say I was persistent. I
Yes, the
convinced him.
The student outside the monastery, that classic tale of waiting long enough for them to finally just accept that you're here to train, and they take you in, something like that.
Well, it was kind of like that, but instead of a monastery, it was like a lot of dirt roads and trees and swamps and stuff.
Red light districts, I'm sure.
No, I didn't follow him in the red light districts. I know what that is, though, but I didn't need to see it. It was kind of gross. But I saw a potential that I could maybe be like him. He represented something new and fantastic that I hadn't really seen before. And I knew, from his stories, he had such a fantastic life. And that I wouldn't be able to have that where I was. And so I left.
So you're a true adventurer.
I guess. I'm still worried about my folks, though, with the war and stuff and so on. And I haven't really talked to them since, so they probably just think I'm dead or was eaten or
One of those
something.
sacrifices I was talking about is it's important to remember that we may not, we see it as we're not there with them and we miss them, but had to live their lives without us.
But lots of other people get to keep their families together because we're doing what we're doing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but again, it's one of those things where I kind of made that decision for them, didn't I?
I would say you did it for yourself.
No,
I did,
think
but
in the grand wisdom of things, realizing that every decision you make is making a decision for other people, and just accepting that you can't prevent that helps.
yeah, I guess I just think back on it and like I want to check on him, but what do I say? Oh, by the way, I'm alive, and oh, I'm this adventurer. Oh, why didn't I stick around? Because you guys aren't really all that cool. So I followed some strange man out of the city.
How about this? You send money, followed by one of your magic messages that just says, attempt my best Trent voice here. Haha! I'm great and powerful now. Right?
I don't know if they'd believe it, but they...
Well, if the message arrived magically, they'd kind of have to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they might not. They might think it's some sort of weird prank or something. I don't know.
Better yet, perhaps we march straight into your home and slay a dragon and free everyone.
Correct me if I'm misremembering, but Andrakar was leading these attacks and so on, I believe.
I don't think it was Andrakar. I know it was a dragon, though.
Yes, it was a red worm. Could assume it was Andrakar, but
No, because they.
I don't know. Perhaps.
They said that. I think they said there was a younger one.
Yeah.
Most people are probably terrible at aging dragons.
I've been
I know
meaning
people
to
who
send...
can't even tell if a snake is male or female.
Do we know, outside of the game,
Okay.
does our group know his description, Andrakar's, at all? Have we seen, heard, know anything about him other than his name?
Some light reading.
I don't think so.
Ah.
We know it's a big red dragon.
Big red.
No.
But we don't know
he's
about
been
his
described.
distinct white belly and all that.
That's been described.
Has it?
Yes, it is.
I don't
Pretty
remember.
Who's the dragon that we fought in Leor?
That
That was the young one.
that was a young red one.
We did not
Or
get its
almost.
name.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just haven't sent a message yet because I'm worried I might get a repeat of what I got with Hargraves, where just nothing comes back.
You're afraid they're dead.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
We could look in. Katarina's crystal ball.
Yes, but he's just said he's afraid of seeing what might be.
Yeah, what if we look and it's just a pile of mutilated goblins?
We step into directions that we fear every day. It's just another new adventure.
I talked
Yeah,
to
but it
Katarina.
feels like it's here.
I talked to Katarina about doing the same. Because I had Oltheon send a message for me and there was no response.
It could still be on its way.
So I was going to have... It's been like a month.
Magic works very strange over long distances. Certain barriers, you figure the closest point, correct me if I'm wrong, Locke, but the closest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Wait. That all sounds stupid.
What?
What I was saying is, it's not a bad idea.
Fascinating.
And I am worried that I may see a destroyed tribe.
I'll look if you want me to. I won't if you don't. Totally up to you.
Or you could look but never tell him.
Yeah. How about you look, and if you see something horrible, you just lie to me.
I
But
can also do that.
are you a good liar, Katarina?
I'm very insightful, so you gotta be.
I believe you.
I can see right to the core of a person. It's one of my talents.
Same. Well, sort of. I've been granted a gift.
Is it still
not my
cracked?
talent.
Joke. It was a joke. Sorry.
From the Russian.
After we fix what
Right.
else is wrong with him,
From
you
the
should
Russian?
fix that.
Right. The horrible tree monster.
Speaking of which, have you
I'm
had
gonna destroy
any
that thing on my own.
flashes in recovery?
No, I've just been studying my spell book, and I wrote a scroll to help keep myself occupied.
I saw that. The
Yeah.
That one took a lot of time.
Oh, it's not easy, or took several attempts. I wish that I haven't done writing in a while, so scroll of haste if anyone's interested. Otherwise, I'll just keep it in the bag or maybe sell it.
You've done that before, right? It speeds somebody up.
Yes, uncanny speed.
That amount of alacrity would be very useful.
I don't think I've done that. I had a potion that did that. I did do that with liquid. Liquid speed.
He's going to do it with paper.
You know, alchemy is just a lot like necromancy for me. It just doesn't come easy.
What if I just mulch up the scroll and I put it in a bottle?
Part of the mixing with alchemy is I've seen a person do it with taste. That could be the reason why alchemy
And
doesn't come
smell,
so
I
easily.
imagine, is important.
Right.
And
you're probably a terrible alchemist.
I am.
Remember, measure by weight, not by volume.
Well, it's hard to get scales on the road.
I learned that from an alchemist. On the road.
And the necromancy, I think it's just an inherent of my being. I don't...
Necromancy inherent to your being?
Well, I can't really connect with the life or flesh of others very well. Not like Ulthion with his power. He can manipulate the forces
right
of life
into your
much
core.
easier.
Oh, no, it's not me, but I understand the sentiment.
Well, you're a conduit for that sort of power. And I seem to be the exact opposite.
More like a tool. I'm a tool.
Okay.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're not crazy. Right now, anyway.
I never had one. Never was.
Well, you're a little crazy. Like, no judgment. I can appreciate an eccentric wizard as much as the next victim, but kind of crazy. A little bit.
Things were strange, but it hasn't happened since we left, so...
Hasn't it?
So, Godric.
Not any meaningful ways.
You're gonna orb your tribe? Maybe I'll do mine after you do yours. You go first. Oh!
Yes.
No, we'll do it like this.
How does it work?
Nose goes.
What?
What
is nose goes?
It's goblin tradition.
What is it?
Well,
Because he who has the nose must go.
No. The last person to touch their nose has to go.
So no nose goes.
Nose goes.
That
It's
game
an
is
adaptation
that
from
game
a
is
gnome
unfair
game.
for me.
It's true.
Don't
He
like
doesn't
it.
have a nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any. Do you have anyone you would like, Katarina? Sorry, I'm volunteering Katarina's talents.
So in place of nose, it would be faceplate.
Do you have anyone you would like, Katarina, to orb scribe?
All the people I care about are here.
Oh, that'd be so much sweeter if you didn't try and murder us so recently.
I didn't do that.
I kind of feel like I'm in danger.
And it wasn't all of us. It was just one of us.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I know,
it was
but
just the
I think he likes him the most, and that's why he
recent
tried
addition.
to kill him. It's like werewolves. You know how werewolves they have to eat the people they care about the most.
I'm missing something. I'm right
It's
here
in
and I don't
lore.
understand what you're
I
talking
did not
about.
know
What?
that about werewolves.
Oh yeah, they definitely target those who they care about the most. So it's like the same thing. It's because Locke loves him so much. Which I'm sorry, Godric.
Well, this means I get stabbed second. I'm okay with this.
What?
I don't know why. Maybe it's the
Interesting.
opposites fascinate.
If that speaks volumes to the types of relationships you have.
I don't.
More, you don't.
I think you all should take the opportunity to see your families, and I'm sure they're fine.
That sounds dark when you say it like that.
Well,
what do you expect?
See your family. Say goodbye.
Well,
to them.
I'm gonna take the crystal ball out. Who's first?
I guess that makes me. But I was gonna say before we wanted to jump into it, I was gonna say, so we should be leaving. What are our next steps? What are we doing?
Oh, hunt down the cult.
Why?
Oh.
Of
Well, cults.
We barely spoke of
Cult.
that. Yes.
And that's kind of why I brought it up. Like, we know what I'm doing, but like, well, what else is going on?
The cult
What
of
sh-
Mephistopheles.
If this really is our last night here,
Metal Thuffle?
where do we go from here? That's a good.
To Cornwall. To kill the cults. Cornwall to kill the cults.
Do you think?
Cult of Cornwall.
Do you think if we kill that cult, we could possibly get Hargraves free?
Well, it's definitely
Means we'd have to make a deal.
something in our pocket.
We
I
have to
don't-
make a deal with the devil.
And I think we should do it ahead of time because what leverage do we have after the deed is done? The devil's just like, well, it's done, so now I have to give you nothing.
So then your suggestion is we commune with the devil?
Well, that's what they're suggesting. I'm saying it's a terrible idea.
That's what I said. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I mean, if I had it my way, we'd murder the cult,
Mm-mm.
and then as we go to claim our prize, we murder the people who have our prize as well, because they're also
Yeah.
culty people.
However, I thought you were going to go with convert first, not straight like
Yes, we
convert.
can convert them
It's like-
from the living to the dead.
Yeah. See, he has a sword and a shield now, which means he's way more about killing.
Oh, I figured you might try and like win them over. Like, listen, guys, devils are.
If that's
Bad.
the best way to get them to drop the guard, then yes, we could do that.
And then
Then kill them. This is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yes. I think once one has been won over, there's no more winning over to be had. I'm not a warrior of redemption, but of war.
But there is still someone's soul that we should try to save.
There are other means to get him back.
It is still an option, because if not, then there's no point in doing it.
Bargaining
Well,
with
the
the
only
devil is
reason-
never clear.
Yeah, the
as
only
we've
reason we
learned.
know about the cult is because of the offer to win points with Glacia.
Yes, this may
So-
not bring that up.
Is she holding him?
No, Glacia...
Or
well,
one of her servants? Well, it's the same thing. We don't actually know where he is, do you? Did you get that from our memories? Who actually is in possession?
Well, it's going to be either Lilith or Glacia.
I'd be happy to murder either of them.
Well,
I understand that for some reason murdering Takesis and Andrakar seems completely possible, but Glacia and Lilith not so much. But
I will say
I
this.
think they're less of an immediate threat.
well,
I think
and
we're more likely to get them to follow through. It might have like a little bit of a monkey's paw kind of thing. Basically, what I'm saying is, devils, even though they're evil and horrible and will probably betray you,
They will.
do tend to follow through on the things that you make bargains with them on.
I mean,
Yes.
I already tried to make a bargain to get Hargraves out, and it was not honored.
With who?
That's true. Akate is not a devil.
She's
But
just
if
like
she
an
wasn't
evil
the one
stepmother.
holding him,
Apple. A book rests nearby. Try not to speak her name or ill of her. She is a goddess of scorn.
But that's where we fall back on. If they say no, then we just murder the devil cult, the other devil cult. Murder all the cults. No more cults. Game over.
I hate to be the callous one of the group, but I think it is important to point out that we've spoken of sacrificing ourselves and others, and in a sense, we've talked about the greater good as well, and I would understand if I don't have a vote in the matter, but going out of the way to save one person when we have many more to save does feel a bit inefficient.
I feel myself agreeing.
Well, we already talked to it, worked out the kind of arrangement. We're already in Cornwall, so it's not like we're traveling across
It's a long way.
Terrowyn.
Assuming everything is wrapped up here in Cornwall for us, nice and pretty,
Now-
then perhaps that could work, but
Yeah, if they're like, oh, sorry, cults moved on to Swan, catch you later. No, that's a little bit of a trip. Then maybe we put it on the back burner.
but how long did it take
And
us to take
Hargraves
an
will be
entire
on the back
cult down?
burner.
Probably not long. A couple hours, maybe.
cults are one of those few groups where if you cut off the head of the snake, it's over.
I don't have a problem sacrificing cults.
If you were gonna say it would just come back, I was like, let's just burn the city.
No,
Oh.
no.
The largest city in Terrowyn, perhaps.
Maybe
It doesn't have to be a good idea.
maybe an overreaction.
Godric,
It's a
if
fun
you have
overreaction.
mice in your house, you do not burn your house down.
No, that's for spiders.
I have gotten that urge, but no.
Of course, you haven't gotten that urge. Aren't there spiders in the gutter, Gumbo?
Well, not for spiders specifically, but I've gotten that urge.
It's
I'm
vile.
pretty sure there's spiders in the gumbo.
It's vile to even look at.
It's protein.
You
I saw you murder
Tasted.
someone with a skull, and you're grossed out by spiders.
Eating it, yes.
It
I didn't put the
has-
skull inside me.
I've
You know how
seen
many
do worse.
pieces of gross
Go
stuff
over.
have gotten in your mouth and your murderous rages?
I know.
You guys don't have to worry about it.
There
I'm
is
in the
crazy.
murderous rage. There's no thinking. There's swinging. There's a difference.
Oh, so it wouldn't bother you with the gutter gumbo if you had been in a murderous rage while you ate it.
Probably not. No.
Well, it
makes a
didn't
lot of
bother
sense,
him
actually.
when
We
he
had the
ate
conversation previous. When I'm in the murderous rage, I'm
It-
not really thinking. I'm just, you need to die. You need to die. As a friend, you should
It-
die. You need to. It's
It
very
only-
simple.
It only bothered him when you told him what it was. So it's really not a problem.
And
I-
that's why it's okay to lie to your friends occasionally.
Hmm.
To circle back around, don't know.
I think you should dedicate yourself to honesty.
I do dedicate myself to honesty, just not with you.
Well, then I'm curious. What's this big lie?
What?
The one you're keeping from me.
Oh, the lie was that you put me in danger. I wanted you to feel powerful.
Oh, right. I told you that.
Also, there's a feather
And
in your
then-
shoe. Why do you even wear shoes?
Because I like to blend in. That's why I put up the hood sometimes.
He likes to feel normal.
I don't actually have to wear clothes at all. Would you all prefer that?
I
Or
don't
do
think
the
it would
clothes
matter.
make you comfortable, or is it for me? Curious.
If Godric walked around naked, it'd make me uncomfortable. If Katarina walked around naked, it'd make me uncomfortable. If Barup walked around naked, it'd make me uncomfortable. If
He's
you
like
walked
mostly
around
fur,
naked,
though.
it would. You can still see. Well, anyway, if you walked around naked, I wouldn't be able to tell. You'd look like a man in full plate armor.
You know, I can't help but think you guys are inspiring so much confidence in Madame Ophelia. And my family away from home.
However, will we save the world without the confidence of this caravan?
Do you ever wish you could come back? Permanently?
Well, sometimes, but sometimes no. Because when Victor's bad, it's bad. If I could take that back, maybe fix him, but everything I learned from Madame Ophelia. And if
Well,
Madame Ophelia can't do it, I don't know who can.
Godric could threaten him. He'd stop being bad.
No, it's not that kind of thing. It's not a bad attitude.
Maybe. We are about to travel the world a bit, do a lot of searching and exploring. Have you ever just thought about learning to do it yourself?
Do what?
Fix him yourself. You're smart. You're reasonably intelligent. You have good magic. You do it.
Well, the way I'm not better than Madame Ophelia. Not at that.
Then become it.
I don't think it's that simple.
Madam Ophelia, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but someday your power will waver and you'll have to hand the title on to someone else, and it is always of a hope that they would become more powerful than you, correct?
Power waver? Maybe. Not likely. But aging, sure. One day I will be too old to run the caravan to make decisions that are best for all who live within it. I will eventually become out of touch with the young who grow up underneath us, who want to make their own way in the world. And my ways will not suit them. Someone else will have to rise from their ranks and become their new leader.
very wise, actually. I think sometimes even my people struggle to see the will of the youth.
It seems the folly of the elves and their ways has always been an inability to bring in new ideas and adapt them to their culture.
Yes, I actually read something recently, and it was quite fascinating. The claim was that it was quite ironic elves spend so much of their time regimented, structured, and yet they are the first to champion the freedom of other nations, races. Sort of interesting dichotomy, I suppose.
But yeah, it's one of those things.
Well, we should.
Demons are a special kind of evil, and they leave their stings on things.
I dealt with one quite recently, and it was purely by accident that we brought it here, and it wreaked havoc, but...
Actually, this is the second one, right?
What?
The jailer was a demon, right?
Is it?
Devil.
It was a devil. Never mind.
It's one thing to just fight it. It's another thing when it's inside you.
Sure. But I feel that between you and these two, you could probably figure something out. I don't see what is stopping you from, if something doesn't exist,
With absolutely no help from Katarina at all.
Oh, he certainly meant her. I have no, we just talked about it. My controls over the forces of life and death are minimal, to be generous.
I don't think demons necessarily fall into the category of life or death. They're something else, something far more chaotic and...
Conjuration is sort of on the border, and
Primal.
I'm not so great at that either.
Maybe one day.
Seems I was purpose-built for destruction.
I guess there's nothing for me to do but to keep my eyes out, I suppose.
Well, not only that, you've said so yourself that if you're going to face it one day, you'll have to be more powerful. Ophelia told you that, so that's what you're doing. That has an end goal. Sooner or later, a confrontation will happen, and either you will stand victorious and feel that maybe you can finally forgive yourself, or you will die and then you don't have to worry about your internal turmoil anymore.
Yeah, because then I'll just come back. I think I probably, if right now I'm strong enough to where I'll just die over and over, but eventually I'll get strong enough to win. Strike me down now and I'll come back more powerful than you can even imagine.
Saying?
I've heard
It's
that.
from a bardic epic tale of a hero's journey.
Oh, right, yes, it was written a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Somewhere far away.
Then this big publisher bought it, put it in some fancy covers, kind of ruined it.
The last one in the series was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know where they got the nerve.
As well, I think we've gotten off topic.
We should
topic.
I'm passionate about the
Turning
arts.
into Godric.
We
I
should.
You
refuse
did
to
imitate me
apologize.
for there for a moment.
We should get back to what are we doing tomorrow when this feast is done. We've slept and we say our goodbyes to the caravan.
Head to Cornwall, find a cult, kill them. Don't
So,
take too much
I would
time
like
on
to
it
stop
because
the
we have other
guilds.
things to
So
do.
we-
Check the auction house.
See,
Yeah.
we're determined to do that.
Go, check up on the cult. If we find him, kill him. Mail a letter, buy some groceries, go to the auction house.
I
The guild auction house, to be specific.
know that we have already crossed paths with the very creatures that we're talking about. Lilith, and Glacia by extension. Do we want to draw that sort of attention? And make an enemy of another greater devil at the same time? I will follow where you all go.
Is it petty of me to say I do not mind having devils not like me?
I don't care if they like me or not. I'd just rather not. I'd rather they didn't know I existed. At least
enough.
until I was more confident. I don't.
It is difficult to know that Hargraves is still there, experiencing something terrible.
He is, and it is terrible. And trust me, I feel the weight of it since I put him in there. But there's no guarantee what we're doing will do anything to help him.
Yeah, but don't we kind of have to try? At least try.
If you feel like we do, I believe. I'll trust you.
I never met him. I don't feel I deserve a vote, but I imagine if he was one of your friends, he would think it was incredibly stupid to try to save him instead of stop Takesis. Deal with the cult, of course, because in the end it still curries favor in the right direction if we need it.
What if we just pass what we know on to the Inquisition in Cornwall? They seem extremely capable.
Not quick to trust, though. We'd have to have some sort of proof. Visited by a tiefling while in an notoriously xenophobic area of Terrowyn, and the tiefling told us there are cultists in a human city. Probably won't go down well.
We know it's specifically a cult of Mephistopheles. It's something.
Sure.
And then they know what to look for. Signs and...
I guess it'd be stupid not to check.
And once they know what to look for specifically, they can narrow it down.
Maybe, but that doesn't garner us favor. It just
Are we doing it for the
may
favor?
delay or impede a cult. Which, if they're active, what are they doing?
Sacrifices, horrible rituals, all of those things devil worship cults do.
Well, no matter what, it boils down to who wants to go try to stop the cult.
Well, I think we go. Either way, it helps the cause, but whether or not we end up freeing Hargraves, I think, is more of a added bonus if it happens so much as a...
I still think we should ask.
It's a shot at possibly freeing him. And if we don't try, it's kind of messed up.
I think asking is an option.
Ask what?
Can't exactly conjure servants of Glacia and the center and capital of the Inquisition and ask for favors.
I could.
But you just said conjuration wasn't a strong point of yours.
It's not, but you don't need much of a servant to send a message.
We could also put some sort of time limit on it. Like, we could stay in Cornwall for 2 days, and if we don't make any progress in even finding them, then we'll move on.
Yeah.
I feel that that's completely reasonable, and as you are the leader of the party, get my vote.
Agreed.
So, Madam Ophelia, but if you were going to find and destroy this cult, wouldn't it best suit you to first understand the very devil itself and his followers? What do any of you even know of Mephistopheles?
He's evil, must be destroyed. Dark.
Maybe redskin horns. I don't know.
His followers are...
I'm not asking if you know what he looks like. Of course, he looks like an Archduke of Betor.
He looks however he pleases.
He's charming and beautiful to behold. A humanoid of perfect proportions and intelligence. But that's not what I was asking. What do you know of how his cultists worship him? Where they worship?
Another reason we should probably go to the Inquisitors. They would know what to look for.
I think they would...
Can we just ask you?
That's probably the better idea. I think going to the Inquisition, they'd give something very similar to what I did. Evil, dark, weak, compared to the might of Herthor.
I don't think you give the Inquisition enough credit.
They are specialized in hunting these things. They have techniques.
They are, but
just
like myself, they'll
a
hold
bunch
to
of
their
nerds
prejudices.
in a circle.
If they're
chanting
not
with robes.
If they're not willing to share techniques or signs or hire us to do the job,
If you go to the
at
Inquisition,
least they'll know.
ask them if there have been any strange or unreported reported disappearances, rumors of people offering shortcuts to power for magic users. Wizards.
Crossroads deals.
Yes.
Lock, keep it in your pants.
If the cult is
I have enough power on my
approaching
own.
people in the city and offering shortcuts to magic users, we might be able to act as bait and try to get us to approach us.
Mephistopheles.
Perhaps we just let everyone know that the daughter of Hecate is in the town.
But what a prize.
Mephistopheles, unlike many of the other Archdukes of Hell, though he is only one layer below Asmodeus in power,
It's pretty good.
he has a very particular taste for very specific kinds of corruption and souls. Wizards, academics. So I say, if you go to the Inquisition to look for leads, start there. Ask them about rumors of individuals disappearing from the academic quarter, possibly from the Imperial College.
It's a fantastic lead.
And for groundwork, if their direction coincides with mine, you can start at the Ivory Fox.
The Ivory Fox.
It's a watering hole for merchants and students at the college. Might be a good place to look, starting there.
It's a good name, too. Ivory Fox.
It's hard to miss.
It's fantastic. Suppose we could be making an enemy. I'm sure Mephistopheles doesn't have the... probably doesn't concern himself with every time an adventuring group destroys one of his cults, so we may be fine, but...
It's more than likely he would just jock it up to one of the other Archdevils as a rival. You are, in fact, just participating in one of their games.
Yeah.
Glacia's not worried about you. She's worried about using you to eliminate a competitor. Who knows? Maybe she looks to establish her own cult, or already has one and is competing for followers.
If we are going to do this, I think we should establish with her beforehand what we'd like in return.
Do you know anybody who can contact Glacia?
The tiefling.
Yes, we do.
It doesn't mean we have access to them.
No, but you can send a message.
Could you send a message to her?
Yeah, I could.
To us, Mina? I mean,
I'm happy to destroy the cult, but interactions with the devil is attracting attention we don't need. Which doesn't help Hargraves, I understand. But that's my opinion. Do with it as you please.
My opinion is that it may be inconvenient, but Hargrave's in freaking hell. So we should probably do something about it. If we can.
I mean, it's not
why do we stop? Who's next?
Who's next?
What do you mean?
There are other people in hell, aren't there?
Yeah, but we care about the one that's our friend.
So we don't care about... What was her name?
Brittle.
Brittle?
If she's alive.
Do you know if she's still alive?
She's there.
Does Hargrave's family miss him more than Brittle's?
We can ask for both of them.
What did you see of Brittle
bargain that?
in the vision? The memories?
That she stopped. As you were being saved to hold back the forces of darkness.
Even if her body was destroyed, if that automata was intact, she's there.
Yeah.
Most people that go to the hells don't they don't go with their bodies anyway. Not normally, so.
Oh,
Don't
well,
think
let's
it
focus
matters.
on one at a time anyway.
Right, so who takes priority? Who's more important and why?
Well,
I think we
why
could
do we
ask-
get to choose?
I think we could ask for both. If this really is just a game between these archdevils, then I'm sure Glacia doesn't really care about the two of them.
We could try. However, I will say that having Brittle back might be a key to getting the people who might be able to help Locke to buy in.
It's true.
Yes, but
So if we have to choose, we choose Britain.
I don't like
They
it.
may hold to their deals, but they're always thinking of one way or another to gain leverage.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But we'll try for both. They might not care, but they might also look at both of them as pawns and leverage, because that's just how their corrupted minds work. Alright. I'll send the message. And I guess we'll see. Hopefully we get a response.
then Cornwall and violence.
Well, no matter where we go, there will be violence. You're
Right.
traveling with a war master.
And him. He does violence.
It's fun.
It's wholesale slaughtering is only sort of violence. You've taken it to another level, Godric.
Is
I'm
there
just saying, I
stronger
think
word
beating
than
someone to
violence?
death with their own arm is violence.
Gratuitous
Oh, it's not a
violence. Then.
competition.
We do violence, and you do gratuitous.
What's to do with this?
It's free.
Unnecessary.
On the house.
A little over the top.
Oh, and then it's just
unfettered.
violence. Then it's just
Over the
violence
top.
for me.
Over the top.
Extra.
Extra.
But what if it's like my baseline? That makes it normal.
No, it's everyone else's baseline. It's different. That's what matters.
But that makes everyone
It's
less violence.
anything more than is technically necessary.
Yeah.
I think I get it.
Unnecessary roughness.
Like beating a man
Flag
with
on the
his
play.
severed arm.
Well, it was a trolley, but
No, he didn't say severed.
no, I ripped it off.
Well, it
No,
seems
all
like
right.
that Trolloc was done then and
For some
there.
reason, I just pictured you beating him with his arm still attached.
Why you hitting yourself? Why you hit? The bugbears did that a lot.
Oh my! I think I'm deciding how hard it would be to achieve that.
This is priorities, right?
All right, finish the meal,
Well,
and then in the morning we go to Cornwall. Give ourselves, what did you say, Catherine, 2 days?
2 days, and if we haven't made any progress by then,
We leave.
I think we'll just have to call it a loss.
And where do we go from there?
At least for now.
then weren't we going to go to
The tombs.
what? No. Yes, and they were going to go to the Orcish kingdoms to fight the not adult white dragon. Because there's a
Again,
tomb
I don't
nearby.
think we know what its age is.
Because we can go to the tomb, and then from the tomb we go to Ferelden.
We do have to kill ancients, however, for reasons. Right?
Yes.
But
5 chromatic ancient dragons.
To reawaken the orb.
Yep. And we have to perform a ritual which you two know, correct?
No.
Uh-oh. Then,
Will probably be found in the keep.
Another reason to go to the tombs. They might have keys to that sort of thing.
did,
Close.
Holier than now, pointy ears, slightly pompous.
Altheon.
Something about me
that
right
is-
here.
No. But more attractive.
Altheon's wife.
More attractive.
And impossible.
Ilyana. There we go.
Yeah.
What about her?
Nothing holy
Did
about
she
her.
know? Did she know the ritual or anything?
Don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
believe she would have any reason to.
I don't think any contemporary does. It's probably been lost a long time.
I think that's what they're working on, right?
And the crown.
If you're talking about going to help the orcs with that white dragon, it's not that close to the next tomb. Not In the north, the lands, the distances are quite vast, and Kriat is a long way away.
It's still closer than anywhere else.
Listen,
Probably
the
a
way
good
I
distance
see it,
from here.
gather what we can, information, artifacts from tombs. Then start the Dragon Forge, make weapons that can actually fight these dragons. Then hunt dragons. Right?
It makes sense. I was just saying because they asked for help. There's a dragon there. We need to fight the dragon anyway.
If without the right weapons or knowledge, we'll just die.
We haven't died yet.
Come close, and we still haven't killed a dragon yet.
Exactly. Let's go fight the. Let's figure out how they fight.
Whoa, whoa,
We
whoa,
learn
whoa,
through
whoa.
experience.
What about the tower?
When we first met Raven.
What, my
Yeah.
my problems can wait.
Really?
I don't know. We have a super dragon killing weapons. We're like, all right, awesome, let's kill a dragon. And you're like, neat weapons, start murdering everybody.
Well, you're not dragons; they'll just be regular weapons.
I don't
against
know.
you,
I'm
right?
pretty sure if we can kill a dragon, it probably hurts.
I think the point is none of us want to have to begrudgingly kill you.
Or come back over and over and over.
If it becomes a problem, I will deal with it.
All right, so you're dealing with it, right? Because it became a problem.
Yeah, I kind of did.
I
A little bit.
It
was a
didn't
little
have to be a
You were
problem.
like almost sentenced to like life, or in Automata. They probably would have disassembled you and put your little globe in a box
Well, that's-
forever and be passed down through generations of long-lived elven families. Oh yeah, this is my murderous automaton core.
That's hardly my fault. We could have just left.
Well, we're not talking about fault. We're talking about fixing yours.
And ultimately, nothing really came of it. He said it himself. He was never in danger, which I also said, by the
I was never in danger, but you were.
way. Right.
family was.
Danger isn't the question.
Family was going to
Problem.
be fine. You were just going to be banished.
Problem is the question.
I think you understand
Danger and
how that
problem
works.
are two separate things.
They have enough life.
It was kind of a
Pull themselves
problem.
back up.
It's like how Godric's drinking becomes a problem when he gets arrested.
Well, it hasn't been a problem since, so
Lock, enough. You're part of the group, and the group has decided it is a problem, so you're outvoted as is.
You need to
Your
realize
options are
that.
simply either embrace that we need to find a cure for you, or leave.
Yeah, you need to realize that when you go into a murderous rage, it makes me feel like you don't appreciate us and the things that we do and how much we care for you, because we are here to help. And now we go around a circle. Godric, tell Locke how his murderous rages make you feel.
No.
Oh,
Well, that is not very constructive.
Listen, the few things I just listed on our very concise itinerary will be feats of incredible skill and difficult beyond imagining. Adding my trek into an infinite maze for answers we have no idea what that will bring seems foolish.
I think it seems necessary if you're going to stay with the group, if you're going to be a part of the solution, we have to make sure you don't become part of the problem.
If it can fix you, imagine what kind of magical secrets it holds.
It's true. Nothing else can do it. I mean, I feel that if some of the world's greatest mages have wanted nothing more than to get to the other end of this maze to find out what's there, wouldn't
Don't
you
need
want the same
convincing
thing?
that it is intriguing and I want to do it, but we're talking about what's best for everyone. And if you all have to kill me because I lose my mind again, it's just one life.
Well, you know what, Locke? Let's make a bet. I bet that when we get to the other side of the endless maze, there's going to be nothing there because the real lesson was in the journey and making it through the maze, and that's how you're a super powerful wizard. That's my bet.
All right. I concede. You all want to help me, and I appreciate it very much. When do we do this?
After we murder the cult.
So,
Get a little murder out of your system.
So then we're putting the tombs on the back burner.
and the
we're
hunt for the
going-
crown, giving them more of a lead.
Well, we race through the endless maze.
There's no point in confronting any of these powerful beings if we can't stand as a united front. You're right. You go crazy, we kill you. One life is lost. Unless you happen to do it at a pivotal point in which we are facing down one of the agents of Takesis, and they have the crown, and that's just the distraction they needed to wipe us out or escape, etc. You know that it'll cause complications.
Well, then you are kind of a valuable member of the team and all.
All right?
Warforged are people, not tools, right? Isn't that the... Ah.
It's all in the name.
What is in a name? Would a rose by any other name smell as sweet? That kind of thing.
All right.
You're at the wrong table, Locke.
I am clearly at the wrong table. You all care so much.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
do.
I do appreciate it.
Mwah!
Yes, we care so much.
Catch it. Catch it.
Or you're being practical and don't want me to ruin it.
No, I'm being emotional and unreasonable, and you just have to deal with it. Cater to my feelings!
If it helps, I'm being practical.
I know, I was talking to you.
Both things can be true.
Something I respect about you is that you understand and value practicality.
And apparently
Above
I'm
most
being
things.
top liver.
All right, a journey to a horrible maze,
Adjourn!
No matter where we journey, it'll be horrible.
right?
Sort of the nature of profession.
Really, destiny is kind of a maze when you think about it. I'm feeling very bardy tonight.
Yes? It has been over a week since I've heard you sing.
Well, I'm not a dancing monkey. You can't just put me on the spot.
No,
Not
you're a
in front of-
dancing goblin.
Not in front of Mrs. O. I get nervous.
Why?
Because I do.
Madam Ophelia, you don't want to hear Trenton sing?
I've heard him sing many times. It's nothing new for me. As a matter of fact, it was a
Seems to be
struggle to
new
get
for
him to
humans.
stop.
It's an
Do
interesting
you know
turn
how
of
many
phrase.
times I've heard him incorrectly pluck a G chord?
Yes.
It's a new chord. I call it a power chord.
All right. Then no
So in
singing
Coldwell,
and dancing.
2 days, and then we head to the can't go past it together.
Well, we had dinner, so now time for a show. Orb his tribe!
Ready?
Apparently.
Right here. I'm still. Right. Okay.
And so, so I reach up and I undo my necklace, and I hand it over. It's a simple necklace with basically the symbol of prom etched in the center.
That was given to me
By who?
by Mavith Wives Drifter.
Wise Drifter?
Who
Alright.
was?
I thought it was Wise Drifter. Perhaps that is the problem. You said Wives Drifter just now.
I
Maybe
said
it drifted
wa-
from wife to wife.
Oh, that is.
Is that what you said, or is it the other way around?
I said Wise Drifter.
What?
See, the problem, Godric, is I need to have the exact name when I send that
Godric
message.
stops and kind of looks at his ale.
It's only been a week without the ale.
It's hitting him
Mavith
fast.
Wife. Why? Oh my God! I'm going to kill you.
I didn't do it, Godric.
Yes, you did.
You're the one.
Mavith Wise Drifter.
Ah, okay. Well, then I did send it to the right person. She's probably dead. Continue. Nothing else trying.
Well, to him, but yes.
Okay.
All right, I am going to scry on Mavis. So I only know them secondhand, but I do have their likeness and a possession. So they have a -1 to the wisdom save.
Yeah, Godric, you gotta like. So who is this man to you, for Madame Ophelia's sake? You gotta tell, not just.
He was the chieftain that took me in.
Oh, why did the chieftain need to take you in?
Because one day, my father decided to abandon the tribe and everything I know and leave with no word of anything.
Oh, how tragic.
Yes.
It's like the reverse of what happened to me.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he abandoned me and the forge, and so from then on, I was raised by Mavith, and from then became a warrior, and then was chosen to be the bearer of the runes of the dragon.
Sorry.
Alright, so I'll hold the necklace in one hand and the orb in the other and try to scry on him.
Okay.
You can't see what she sees?
No,
That's true.
I don't think I can.
No.
I don't know how
see.
magic works.
But if you could combine a scry spell with a major illusion somehow.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
I do
A
have
projection-
major illusion.
a
I don't know if
projection
I can
spell?
do both at once, though.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It's
Using the orb as a lens, you project what you're seeing.
you gotta tilt it a little bit to get the focus right.
Focus, right?
Doesn't have autofocus. Doesn't have that cool new technology where it makes it all square.
Nah, they're both concentration. I can't do both.
Well, why are you letting a simple thing like concentration limit you? Yeah, ask the DM. If you- Be like, I'd like to merge these spells for this type of narrative effect. It's totally I did it. I merged some spells. I cheated. But it's not for like mechanical like combat.
It's not cheating.
Ugh,
It's creating
like-
a narrative.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't have a mechanical like effect, and it's just for storytelling.
Well, but if I
purposes.
project his and then I don't project yours because something terrible is happening, then my lie isn't gonna work very well. So you're gonna be like, why didn't you just show me?
No, they're fine. Trust
No,
me.
Oh, they're
I'm
doing
fine.
great. Trust
I'm
me,
fine.
we're
No,
good.
don't show me. No, don't show me. I'm nervous.
Your little town in Suwon, not burned down. Totally fine.
It looks great.
Fuck you, man.
Sheep look good, you know? Just about ready for a trim.
Yeah.
Not corpses.
As she starts putting out details that she's like, oh yeah, the lawns were great. It's like,
Sheep.
it's a desert. we have rock lawns.
Whore.
Sorry.
Look, he's making the decision right now.
He's
whether
he's.
it's
Shut the fuck up,
He's
man.
like, how has Mike treated me this past week? That's true. He did take out the trash on Saturday, but that was the only time. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going through my mind right now.
Yeah. Has he been doing the dishes? You know.
I was a helpful teammate in Fortnite, I swear.
The lawns look
Oh, you don't want to
great.
bring up Fortnite, bro. Why are you doing that? That's not working in your favor.
I was helpful.
Were you there the last couple days?
You think you were helpful.
Neither of us have been there last couple of days.
Dude, this is
Doing
one of those
fine.
things where you're like in a relationship and she's like, I haven't been happy for a long time. And he's like, well, that's fucking news to me. He's
Exactly.
like, I was helpful in Fortnite. He's like, you don't want to bring up Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Let's see.
Nerd. You can poke my belly. Don't poke my pits. It's gross.
Just been given permission to poke him in the belly.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I have a thing about my pits and my face.
They're gross. Pits are gross.
Pits are gross.
You called his face gross, too,
You
by
did,
context.
whether you meant to or not.
What was the,
Shit
what was
so
the spell?
Wait, what?
What was the
What
spell
did I
set DC
miss?
for you?
Hold on, what did I do?
He said the thing about
And
touching
based
my pits
on
and my
the
face, and you're
all
like,
of
yeah,
the
they're both
modifiers, he
gross.
has a -1.
You just said they're gross.
A -1?
Mm-hmm.
God, make his face.
So he gets a +5 because it's second hand.
Yes, but then a -2 for I have his likeness, and then a -4 for having a possession. So -1.
You don't have a
total.
possession of his.
Yeah, the
my
necklace.
That was his originally.
It wasn't his originally. He gave it to you. That makes it your possession.
Metaphysics, man. Metaphysics.
That makes it your possession, not
Yeah.
his.
In that
okay.
case, he has
Otherwise,
a
otherwise,
+3.
scrying somebody because of their shirt just gets you the sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to the thrift store and
Yeah,
everything's
that's yours.
Yeah, I thought because it was his originally, and then he gave it to me. That's why I thought so.
Yeah, originally, and then it became yours.
Metaphysics.
If
In
someone
that
was to
case-
scry on you with that, then that would work that way.
I thought it was the intent behind the spell, really, is what I was thinking. But
No, it means literally like, do you have one of his possessions? Like one of his possessions, like
His
his kid, yeah. His shoes, his underwear, his possessions,
the blood of his
Yeah.
family.
well, never mind.
His child.
Do you keep a vial of his blood?
Because that would work.
No, I thought a necklace was enough. to be honest.
You didn't describe this
unless
guy, which
he
would be
gave you
kidnapped
his
child.
vial of his blood when you were 10.
No.
And
Then now
and then
that's
you-
your blood.
Yeah, now it's your vial of his blood.
Yes. Did you ever share food? Because you both shared the same thing.
No,
There's
sorry.
a
Well, the vial of blood would be even better because if you have a body part, it's -10.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that would be even better.
So you
Piece
get
of
the
hair.
-10 because
So
it's his
the
vial
vial
of blood.
belongs
We're on
to
the
you.
rules
belongs to
anyway.
you.
Blood
Just a
is
piece of hair counts as a body part.
Yeah.
A piece of hair, yeah. Lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like.
Just curious.
Or like if you still had that
Is
arm
that
from
suddenly there's a
ripped off.
piece of hair in the necklace?
Do a little
Yeah.
crayon, like crayon.
The necklace
stick
is
It's like,
figure
oh,
over
drawing.
funny
from
enough.
his hair.
What he looks
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Crayon. I love that as the likeness.
Yeah.
In the dirt, Godric's just like big circle, hair on this side, sharp
It's a
teeth.
stick figure except for his
Very
arms. He's like,
large
he's a
arms.
blacksmith. He's got big arms.
So the scry definitely works, but there is an active magical protection stopping you from seeing or hearing the individuals in question. There is something else there that is blocking your attempt from doing so. You see fading and fleeting images of something, like blurred, like a very blurry film. There is something else interfering. They are somewhere where there is a powerful magical barrier or protection spells at work, keeping you from going any further.
It didn't work. Sort of. He's definitely alive.
That's a start.
The spell connected, but it felt like there was something in the way. Like I was there, but I couldn't see anything. But he is alive, I just don't know where or in what condition.
Protective magics. Like most of the tribal giants of the north have a tendency to be quite superstitious. Perhaps there's wardings of some kind to prevent that. And although not malicious, it's acting against you.
Something was keeping me out.
Maybe that's why the message didn't go through as well.
Perhaps.
But he's alive.
That's something at least. I'm just thinking if only place I could think of having protections is if he's talking to the chieftain. But even then I do not know.
Well, I hazard to think that perhaps the answers you seeked originally aren't with Wise Drifter. I don't see any reason why they would have given you this tattoo and lied to you about its origins. They must truly believe the same thing that you did up until recently.
I know where I need to get my answers. This was more along the lines of me wanting to check in. Just because the message didn't come back.
Right, sort of I sent you a message, please respond.
Yes. I think the answers are I'm going to need to meditate and talk with the dragon.
I'm terrible at that.
Maybe
Why do you think I said the word with what the vileness?
That's a wrong word. Trepidation, hesitation, resistance. Vileness would be like saying it like it's like you're attacking somebody with the word itself.
Yeah. The word's gross.
So disgust.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, I thought you sneezed.
No. Well,
say words like you're spitting.
They're alive. That's good news.
It is better news than I had, which I'm glad about.
Well, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see him second hand. I don't know what I'm saying. So she see him didn't.
Trin,
Fuzzy.
you're delaying, but it's your turn.
Would you like me to?
My turn. Oh, I guess you did do it. Does it count? Because you was all fuzzy.
This isn't rude, right, Madam Ophelia? That we're just doing this here. I mean, don't you have your own means of scrying and whatnot?
I do.
Well, then I suppose at least you did a good job because you did it correctly.
Well, I guess.
Your turn.
Malfactories need much guidance.
Oh, you know what it is.
Of course. How would I not recognize a gift from her Dark Lady? As a worshipper of her myself.
Godric hesitates, and I'm like, we already knew that. I want to leave.
Alright.
Well, I guess you could look in on my dad.
Sure. Can you describe what he looks like to me?
Well, he's a goblin. Shocker. Oh. He has a dark, almost a muddy olive skin. He has a scruffy beard, maybe about like
I'm like an inch long, or are we on the metric system?
finger length.
Goblin finger length.
Goblin finger length.
So, like,
Finger, little finger. No, not length long, but length thick. Finger length beard. He has an eye patch. He lost his eye. He said he always said he lost it in a bet. But I'm not really sure how that worked out. And then his other eye is kind of a tan, like the iris is tan. And he wears a cap. Well, he wore a cap. This is years ago. I don't know if this is going to be entirely accurate, but this is a spell. What if he lost his other eye in a bet?
Well,
And then he's always walking around in these like leather overalls, brown leather overalls, and he's normally he wears an apron, and he's normally covered in like grease or dirt or a mix of grease and dirt, because we're always trying to repair stuff and fix things up, because it's Stin's supply shop where I grew up. We sell things that we find secondhand.
And what was his name?
His name, Drevdol. Drevdol Skid.
Right. I'll do my best. Alright, I'll try to scry on Trin's dad.
While she's concentrating on that, I just look Trin in the eye and say, well, if your father's the goblin, that means your mother must have been the songbird.
No, she's a goblin too.
I guess
But
it's
she's
just...
much prettier. She has both her eyes and everything.
The bar is high.
Apparently with goblin kind, apparently so.
Meanwhile, I'm over here going, check with one eye sounds pretty attractive. It's like a pirate, right? I'm just like,
Yeah. Her patch is just an accessory.
She has a story,
Yeah.
and I'm into it.
Never miss opportunity
All
to
about it.
accessorize.
Gotcha.
Got
So-
a mad eye, moody, fake eye. That's.
So this time, the image comes into view perfectly fine. And in it, you see what you assume is his father's, since that's who you're scrying for, in a small, quaint little shop, basically going over some accounting books. He's just sitting there quietly, reading and doing some math, and he has this abacus, and he's just going back and forth, and seems to be a really rather mundane day.
He looks great. He's in a workshop.
Oh, well, now
of
I know
sorts?
he's dead.
No. He
Whatever
looks as
she told me
described.
was-
No, Trin. He's sitting in a
He starts
workshop.
crying. Sobbing uncontrollably.
Oh my God, my dad! Oh, why do you have to go so young? I mean, you're old and goblins do die young.
No,
But not that young, it's too soon.
darling, he's in his workshop doing math, doing some accounting things.
No! Dad was terrible at math.
He has an abacus.
Well, he doesn't know how to use an abacus.
Maybe he's learned.
What's an abacus?
It's for doing math. You slide the beads around.
Counter.
Was it
Ah.
a purple abacus?
Was it purple?
'Cause that was my mom's abacus. She was the mathematician. Well, she can add and subtract, and I think she divided once, which basically means that she's a scholar.
I think that it,
Have
I
to be a
think that
mathematician to keep track of all the fucking kids in the family.
They don't even know I'm gone.
Yeah.
They've been calling one of them
surprised.
Trin for years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Kevin, but thanks.
I think it was purple. Maybe she taught him how to use it.
Oh. Maybe. You're not lying?
No, Trin, I promise I'm not.
You pinky swear?
I pinky swear.
Didn't we just? Didn't you?
What
I
was
don't
that?
believe it!
Wait, what was that? A pinky swear.
I thought you said you were good at reading
It's
into people.
like a promise, but if you break it, they get to break your pinky.
Well, goblins keep
Learned that from the Goliath.
Sounds like something we would do, but we've never done it.
The children in Belindle did it all the time.
You
Not the
broke each other's-
breaking part, but
So then you've never broke
Just,
a pinky
just a
swear.
bunch of children with broken pinkies.
Do it!
When
That's
the
just
pinky's
sort of-
too damaged, they move on to
sort
other
of what
fingers.
they say is if you break a pinky promise, you get your pinky broken. But I don't think anyone actually follows through.
I
I
saw
can think
a
of plenty
kid.
of people that keep a secret by allowing their pinky to be broken. Honestly, you should do something like, call it a stabby promise or something.
I pinky promise.
Don't worry, I will break her finger. If
Oh,
she's
and
not-
you
she
show
breaks
your
that.
pinkies so that you can
I disagree.
verify they're
You
not
just
already
said you
broken.
break it if you break the
Not
promise.
you.
What's the difference?
I'm just here to make sure.
Trin would get to.
Oh, that's less cool.
Well, you can pinky promise someone else something.
Right, if we get to Swan and Trin's parents are dead, you break a pinky.
Wait. So
I just said they're alive now.
he was doing
I'm sure they'll be fine then
It's
too.
like panic that is involved.
he was doing math in the shop. He was probably just playing with the abacus. He was always a fidgeter.
Well, he looked very peaceful. While alive, not like dead peaceful.
Must have grown timid in his old age.
His,
He
his,
looked
his
healthy.
old goblin years of
Besides
20.
the one
Yeah,
eye.
how old would he be, Trin?
I don't know. He never was good at math. So
Or counting.
How old did he say he was?
I don't know. It was, I think when I was a kid, he was saying that he was 12, but it may have been the 12th time he said he was 12. So it's kind of hard to
How
keep
old are
track.
you?
Yes, how old are you?
It's a very personal question.
I'm hoping you're good
Well,
at
we're
math.
good
It's one of
friends.
the first questions that you asked me. Was how old I was.
Yes, and it was impolite then, too.
Well,
I think it's
never-
alright for friends to ask each other impolite questions.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm 14.
Alright, middle aged. Oh,
I don't even
How
think
old
you
are you?
understand that.
I don't.
Like really. After you're like, I took a long
so
holiday. It was 20 years.
It's
I'm really
just
coming
look
from
at Locke, he
you.
can
You
relate.
said a long holiday.
I'm younger,
It's
at
20
least
years.
awakened.
You ever hear the story about? You make me think of
Darth
this.
Plagueis the
this
Wise?
Yeah. You make me think of this
That
joke
was a tragedy.
that I heard once upon a time.
Not in
And
this
it-
world.
There's a poor goblin, and he's praying to the goblin gods for help. And the goblin god answers him and he says, "Yes, young goblin, what can I do for you?" And the goblin goes, "God, what is a million copper to you?" And the god says, a million copper is but a pebble." And then he goes, "God, what is a million years to you?" And the god says, "A million years is but a second." And the goblin says, "God, can I have a pebble?" God goes, "Sure, just 1 second." You make me.
That's the best joke I have ever heard. Apologies, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard. That's amazing. I'll remember that one.
You didn't even laugh.
I'm being incredibly
He's
impolite, I'm
bursting,
sorry.
Godric, can't you see it?
No, not at all. One
Look, his
eyebrow is
eyebrows-
higher than the other. Is that his laughing?
Exactly.
Oh my god. Oh my crumb.
Well, I'm not laughing anymore. You ruined it. You ruined the whole joke. Trin, I'm going to write that down. It's really good.
It'll just take him a second.
You might need to cater it to the audience. I don't know how it would go for an elf.
A million years.
Oh,
is
this
still quite a long
Eldering, what
time.
is a trillion, billion, zillion years? It's but 100 years or something. I don't know.
I'll figure out a way. Maybe I just won't tell it to elves. But I got the joke.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm
but you make me think of that
I
sometimes.
apologize for not being myself a moment. That was truly hilarious.
But yeah.
Compose myself.
But yeah, I'm young. What, you want to fight about it?
I mean,
No,
you're the
not at
second
all.
youngest person in the group.
It's true. Catherine is a child.
I'm older than he is.
I do goblin years. Do we all of you follow the standard 16-month year, right?
No.
Oh. Well, then I suppose by your standards I answered incorrectly when I gave you my age.
Well,
What is yours?
well,
20-month year?
12 snowfalls. And I think 12. Oh,
Oh,
eternity.
the standard, the human calendar then. I just assumed maybe you might have, but there's no way goblins had the same calendar.
We have to live with the other races. So, yeah.
The other races have to live with you too.
Yeah. They're not too happy about it. Fuck them.
Yes, we'll show them. One conversion of gutter gumbo at a time. Like you have a.
You
it's like a
loved it until
stick
you
of some
figured
salt
out there
in
was
your teeth.
spiders. Whatever.
You see him drink ale, and then you hear sloshing.
Godric loved it.
He did.
Well,
Right. Well, I did promise the brothers that I'd tell another story tonight, so I'm off. Madam Ophelia, thank you so much for the meal. I ate some of it. Good night.
Good night.
We're working on the politeness. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's incredibly polite for an elf.
Glad it's working then.
It just takes some time in their company. They're
Thank you for letting
just not as open to their feelings as their cousins.
yeah. But he's also kind of a baby because he hasn't really seen the world. You know, he's read about it, but he's still very naive.
I kind of agree. When I threw him in the air, I've never seen him look so offended.
What? What?
I understand more about this world and its histories than either of
You
you
were
simpletons
supposed to-
ever will.
You were supposed to be
Good day.
gone. I was having a private
And I
conversation with my.
Slam the door, but in an elven
Well,
way.
make sure he leaves.
So it's
You
really
hear the
soft
click.
and quiet.
No, you hear the click this time.
He knows I'm right.
He probably does, which is why he's so angry.
Yeah. It's like you said. If there's no nerve to hit. There's nothing there. They won't get upset.
And the rest of you? It's getting late. I assume you wish to retire. You have a long day tomorrow.
Yes, I'm going to turn in.
And many dangers around the corner, it seems.
There's a party going on, yeah, I suppose.
Oh, I guess.
Well, there is always drinking and socializing amongst our people here. Every night is a joyous celebration of being alive another night.
At that, Godric just gets up and then goes to leave and then goes, finishes the mug, puts it down, and then leaves to go find some
Another
form
mug.
of celebration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merrymaking.
Merrymaking!
You hear, Ulthian, move! I don't care if you're telling a story. I have ale to drink.
Where shall I begin? I begin to drone on about the history of Bravatus and
All your students look so sleepy.
how they
So
founded their First Nation.
Once I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to wherever we're staying, and once I'm by myself, I want to scry on Ulrich.
On Alric?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh, stuff Hera, stuff them all.
Well, that's basically really great.
Just the greatest kind of guy. He's a very King Arthur type. Or maybe he would have been. Anyways.
If he wasn't dead.
If
By the
he
way,
wasn't
see his
dead.
corpse.
Okay. It's a solid roll though.
Yeah.
I think he should get a -5 for
Yeah.
since I'm familiar with him.
Yeah.
And you have that present he gave you,
Yeah, I think
but now
based
it's
on the
yours.
necklace, yeah, that's mine now.
Dang it. Well, now you know for the future to start collecting body parts. Hi, nice to meet you. Can I have your fingernail?
Yeah.
Actually, you probably should ask all of us for a piece.
Wow.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, what, from us?
Wow,
Yeah.
this group's turning evil.
Or realistically, what you have to do is just define whether or not this is a keepsake when they say this is meant to remind you of me versus this is a gift to you for you. Is the differentiation.
How was it meant?
It was a gift. It was flat out a gift.
Gotta be honest, I think you.
By the way, -5 is a serious penalty regardless.
He's like, well, I rolled
I'm
a
still,
20.
I'm still holding it in my other hand.
which
I
you
just don't
needed.
think it does
Because
anything.
that was a solid roll. So Alric does come into view. He is currently standing at an archery range, plinking away at a target. And the light is kind of finally going down behind the Grey Spire Mountains. And he's just shot after shot after shot, watching for a few minutes, and doesn't really change, just fires. Goes and collects the arrows and goes back to the starting line and just continues to fire. It does look like he's in a walled area. It's palisade walls, like raised walls. And you can hear the sounds of other things happening around him. Nobody else is there, but you can hear what sounds like an active camp of some sort nearby. You're kind of looking around his spot, but maybe he's in Harral, maybe he's in one of the Banner Alliance's war camps.
Yeah, then after the spell ends, I'll just go to sleep.
Okay. Block. Anything before resty time?
I'll stand up from the table. Madam Ophelia, thank you for your hospitality and shelter.
Of course.
Do you know anything about the tower? Did we ask about this already?
There are many towers. What do you mean? What's a tower?
Tower that builds itself every day and collapses every night. Center of an endless maze.
You speak of the Wizard Nazir's tower in the Nether lands.
Yeah. Just wondering if you had any insights beyond what.
I don't think I have any more insights than anybody else does.
Okay. Well, be safe. Leave.
I will.
Oh, Miss L, I don't know when we're gonna be back or when I'm gonna get to see you again. But what do you think? You've met the group.
Most of them are particularly likable.
Yeah, I like to think so. Oh, and you may have heard, but you don't really need to worry about me too much, because apparently I can't fucking die, but I keep coming back for some reason.
Sometimes the gods have a sympathetic ear, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. But I'm thinking I'm not gonna test it a lot, but apparently I'm a little lucky.
You were always a little lucky. And
then-
also a little unlucky at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a trade. That's how those things work, right?
Yes.
I suppose you're gonna, keep watching after Victor One. How they're trying to make you all proud.
Of course. There's nowhere else left for him to go. The Silver Choir stripped him of his rank, they stripped him of his titles, and kicked him aside when he was no longer capable of serving as a spy, an informant, or a performer. You know, it's only getting worse. I'm glad that while you were visiting, he had a better night, a better day in general. No one is ever truly free of the corruption of a demon.
I know you overheard us talking, but there's no stories or lore of something like that being cleansed. I know we've talked about before, and you said it was basically impossible.
I think nothing shy of the most powerful magics in existence would be able to cure him of the madness that will slowly consume him until he dies.
And do you resent the Silver Choir a little?
No. No, I don't. I understand why they did what they did. There's so much at stake when they send one of their agents to Laura Walker to handle something. Maybe at first he would have been capable of doing so, but ultimately they saw something there that they knew wouldn't work. He wouldn't be capable of performing his duties anymore.
What are you gonna do if he gets much worse? So you're like don't know, medicine or magics to keep him calm beyond what I know you're already doing.
If it comes to that, he doesn't end up taking his own life in some way, in order to stop the voice of the demon from reaching out to him, then I will simply have to quiet his mind permanently. He will slip into a gentle, long sleep until he passes. Or at least that's how he wants to go anyways.
How long do you think he has?
Who knows? He's strong-willed. Maybe he has many more left. Many years left ahead of him, and maybe not.
Well, like you heard me saying, I'll keep my eyes open. We're finding all kinds of magnificent lore and relics and stuff. Maybe I'll be able to find some magic kind of like the one you're talking about.
Maybe.
Anyway. I know I have to go, but you know I love you very much.
I know you do, Trent. I care about you and Victor. You are like an adopted child. You know that doing what we did very much exposed us once again to him, regardless where he is.
I was hoping that it was just like a mirage, like a mindscape or something. Like maybe because I'm always afraid of him, and it was just the back of my mind playing tricks in that realm.
It's possible. Maybe it was just the visage, the haunting memory of the corruption that he left upon all of us. But regardless, you should keep your wits about you. Watch your dreams. Be mindful. His Regath will not forgive and forget what we did to him. He is not destroyed. He yet dwells in one of the layers of the abyss, waiting for the moment he can strike at us when we are weak.
It would be nice to think that it was just a haunting memory, but I don't think when it comes to that I'm lucky. I may be able to come back from the dead, but like you said, something like that doesn't just go away. I'll stay vigilant. Just like how my friends can't afford to have something betray them and sneak up on them, I can't afford the same. I'll be watchful for if he comes back or reaches out or starts to twist things. I've been keeping up on our training, like you taught me. And so I have my tools that I can use.
Just take measures.
All right.
If he appears in your dreams, just mark it.
Okay. I will. But until then, I'm gonna keep going down this path with my friends. And I hope I can see it through.
Have you spoken with the Silver Choir since you started with them? Now that you've completed your mission?
I haven't told them that I completed anything, and I told them that I was unsuccessful when I first tried. I told them that I was gonna stay with them and try and ensure that my mission was completed. But I haven't broached the subject of what happens if I did. Or if I was
as a lore walker,
successful.
you have your own autonomy to choose how and where you go.
Yeah, I know. Those requests, though, that come through sometimes.
I do believe the Silver Choir has much more on its plate now. That if you tell them that your mission was successful and that everyone is safe, don't believe they'll have to call on you again if you tell them that you're planning on staying with them and helping them complete their missions.
Okay. I'll tell them then.
Well, good night, Trin. And travel well.
Good night.
I run up and I give her a quick hug. And then
She hugs you back and pats you on the top of the head.
before any of the words can really get shared, I scamper out of the room. Back to my tent.
You walk past Ulthion giving an extraordinarily boring lecture on the history of Bravadas and hurry back to your tent.
That was when the king's second son first married. But I'll talk about the third now.
The evening closes in tonight as you kind of in solitude hang out in your room and think about what's coming and what's going to be required of you and how you should get in contact with the Silver Choir again, another lore walker, and pass on your findings and give them your updates. You can hear the camp alive with music and sound and eating, and you can hear Godric's outrageously loud laugh here and there, and then eventually everything kind of slows down and stops, and it turns into the night's watch, and the fires are kept up.
As I get ready to drift off to sleep, a golden letter floats out of my tent and launches off as I send the request for our friends if we take care of this cult.
Okay.
The proposal.
To Ismina?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. So morning comes and you break camp. You say goodbyes to the people, to the friends that you've made along the way. The hobgoblin, the few dragonborn, the children who've taken a liking to Ulthion are sad to see him go. They find him absolutely fascinating.
I'm great with children. Very patient. That's the key.
Traffic to the capital gets pretty thick and busy in the morning with traders and merchants, so an early start is best as the sun is barely starting. And the camp watches you all head out back towards Conewald. They shout their goodbyes and play some music.
Bye. So long. I'll miss you.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
He was good drinking with everybody.
until next Friday.
Ah!
To Homebrewed.
Cornwall. I'm
Cornwall.
just into these so much.
I know.
I did too.
Yeah, that's fun.
I was
that
like,
session.
we're leaving, and it's like, this is a really nice, happy place.
He's
I
gonna
don't
shit
wanna
on it.
go.
I was
Well,
waiting.
that's it. The rest of D&D happens here in the caravan where we can be happy people.
It's kind of how I was. I'm like,
Role play
God,
out
this
our
is...
happy lives.
It
Yeah.
doesn't help
Oh.
that the music was just really just like there. I'm like,
Let's be
this is
honest.
nice.
It'll only be happy for a little while until
Yeah.
my mentor starts descending into madness and fading away in front of me.
And then
Unless
the
we can
dra-
just
I'm so
go
glad
kill
you can-
Viscergath.
Maybe
I'm
the
so glad you
dragons
consider
will
me
come
a
kill us
mentor,
all
you know?
first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's just go kill the demon.
yeah. Just
Go
kill,
get 'em.
Kill all the. Well, the devil.
Yeah,
we
go
have-
get 'em.
Don't we have
Demon.
enough going on?
No, the demon, yeah. The
Go straight
yeah.
into
Kill
the
devils
abyss,
and
find 'em.
demons.
Just
Go
start
on.
pointing and asking questions like, you motherfucker, you know who he is? Point me towards him. You know, he's
Summon
like, yeah,
him.
dude, that motherfucker chills out at Demogorgon's place, dude.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
He's always there playing fucking Call of Duty.
Everyone
Go kill him.
knows
Of course
Demogorgon
he
throws
played Call of
the
Duty.
best
Yeah.
party.
On
Yeah.
Xbox Live.
On
Yeah.
Xbox Live.
with a
Toxic.
shitty mic.
Mom's
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah.
Xbox Live. Eating his fish sticks.
With the mic half down his throat when he's calling
Yes.
bad things to your mother, and you hear just.
Oh, that last part sounds a little bit like Andrew.
Only sometimes.
What are you eating? Oh.
All right.
Woo!
Good times.
It felt good.
Yeah.
We're back.
Come back.
Just summon a
That's
demon
good.
with magic circle.
Hey, you got his
He
name. Just
appears.
summon him.
Yeah. I'm like, what's up, bro?
Just
I
summon
heard
him
you had
straight
problems.
to you.
Oh boy, you about to fucking die.
I mean, we should also do it in the middle of nowhere with no even form of civilization for at least 200 miles.
Agreed.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah. Or we just summon him like in a city that we hate, like Greencrest.
Yeah. Just let him go.
Fuck green crap.
Green
Yeah.
Crest has
Oh no!
been through a
But
lot.
you
Oh,
literally
yeah.
asked your god to save it. I was like, yeah, but I guarantee when I return, they're dicks to me, and I want to take it all.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's
Yeah,
a
probably.
dangerous ritual. Be careful. Oh no! He's broken out of the magic
Oh,
circle.
Oh, darn it.
No, come back! Tearing up a town. No, stop! No,
They
stop!
might be dicks, but you know,
They're our.
they,
sounds weird.
they don't keep you in a ghetto.
In the ghetto.
All right. Well, it was nice to be back. We love
Um,
everybody
I'm
most
so
of the
excited
time.
for next week. Now.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
will be
me
fun.
too.
This will be good.
Cornwall and Colts.
It's gonna be perfect.
That's the title right
Ooh,
there.
Cornwall and Colts. There we go.
CNC.
Mm.
Oh, no. Shouldn't have
Colts
said
and
that out loud.
Cornwall.
Anyways, it's K, by the way, for Cornwall, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Roll credits. I'm embarrassed.
Hashtag difficult
Keep it on.
terrain.
Zoom in, pan. Get it right on.
Enhance.
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 Wait, what'd you say?
Anyway, here
But
at
yeah.
Legendary Action, we don't keep
No,
shit.
I want to circle back. What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm good. Just gonna wear these sunglasses and act cool.
He wears his sunglasses at night. Anyways,
Yeah, it is nice.
So I can
so I can.
So I can.
have visions.
All right, that's too much fun. All right, so we're gonna go, and I hope that you all had a wonderful few weeks without us. But we're back now, so make sure you come back and catch us here on Fridays. You know, same old great people, same old great place. Don't forget to check out our Discord if you want to keep up with us. We also have the Twitters and doobly-doos and contacts and stuff, so you can check us out there as well.
Maybe hop in
And-
and join our little voice
Yeah,
channel.
yeah, exactly.
Oh
Do
yeah,
our
go throw your
voice
voice
channel.
in there. It's
Go
not a
throw your voice in.
competition.
Yeah.
It
It's a
doesn't have to
little
go anywhere. It's literally just for fun. Go in there.
We'd like it to go somewhere.
Yeah, it's supportive.
Mainly, we're just going to talk about who we think did a really cool version of it, is what we've been doing.
Well, yeah, we're just gonna talk about them all. You know,
Mhm.
We can-
Exactly.
We can make fun of.
Do fun
we
stuff.
can make fun of Mike because these are really good. So
I
just
have-
make fun of them. Like maybe
so many files.
maybe he won't leave
Yeah,
us.
he's
So many.
basically a professional.
All of them.
I go
Yeah.
through so many. I hate my
You
own
should
voice.
start a TikTok.
I hate my own voice.
You should have a TikTok.
Tell me about it, man.
But
I
we
hate
hope that your
voice.
week is as legendary as
Thank
our
you.
night was, and we will see you next Friday, everybody. We love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye!